Ah. Hello, to whom this may concern. Didn't quite get my collar right. Don't want it to be all froofy. Also, I keep forgetting I made this. Always make this, and then while I'm getting ready with everything else, I forget it's there. Yes. Good stuff. Just sugary enough. All right. I'm going to keep it short again tonight. We'll hang out a bit, watch some stuff. And then we'll get out before it's too much past midnight. No more going overboard. We don't need that. Maybe I should put this mug over here where I can actually get to it easier. I keep putting it back there and having to turn around and get it. Oh god. Wow. Okay. So, there's a bunch of things. There's one or two. Okay, see, I'm reaching back for it again. I gotta move this mug. I'm gonna put it right in front of me. We're doing a lot of sipping. There's one or two really big things over the last week, and they're kind of obvious. We'll get to them later. More importantly, yes, one of them is Deadpool versus Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine? Deadpool X Wolverine. No, X is Godzilla and Kong. I think it's and. Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm surprised they didn't call it Deadpool v Wolverine. Or something edgy like that. That's probably Ryan Reynolds' decision or instigation. Like, don't make it cringe, basically. Don't make it too try-hard. Even keep the name classy. Yeah, I'll do that later. I almost said more importantly, but it's not really. I'm just fascinated by this. We watched a teaser trailer not long ago for Jennifer Lopez's new film. It was a teaser. I believe it's a Netflix production. Has something to do with an idea that she had and wanted to produce based on some dream she had or some shit, which I thought was fascinating. And it turns out it's a sci-fi musical, which I didn't know until I saw the teaser, which blew my mind a little bit. So Jennifer Lopez is producing and starring in a science fiction musical based on some dream she had or something fucking random like that. Amazing. So, I mean, I'm just hella keen to see what they had next about this. The teaser was a while back, and now they actually have a trailer, which is great, because the teaser doesn't tell you fuck all. Ah, here it is. Let me shift into position. Mike, come with me. Let me rotate this. Testing. All right. Move the mouse pad some more. Get to see if it close. Am I going to have to put this... Okay. We don't want max posture. We want just a little bit. All right. Groovy. That's better. I'm ready for J-Lo, man. Enlarge, enhance. I need sound. About to watch a trailer for a musical without fucking sound. You dick slave. Alright.
Good morning, Atlas. Time to wake up.
Her name is Atlas?
Agent Atlas
Oh, there's gonna be a code word.
Of her life
Like an acronym.
Artificial intelligence known as Harlan. Originally engineered to advance humanity, he instead nearly ended it.
If you really want to try to capture
Shang-Chi is in this movie.
you need me on that mission.
God, she's doing her most serious acting right now.
What do I do?
Stop it!
So what exactly did she dream that made all this come to fruition? Maybe someone was fucking with me when I read about that.
This planet is unstable and inhospitable.
Atlas, my name is Smith.
Is that really necessary?
Wait a minute, I made the same mistake again. Oh god. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. A week or two ago, I thought we were about to watch the trailer for the musical, and it turned out to be the teaser for this science fiction action movie on Netflix, which has nothing to do with the thing I was just talking about. Holy shit. I am so sorry. So I keep getting this movie and her Dreamscape musical movie kind of mixed up. I don't know why. They just combine in my brain, and anytime I see one or the other, I mistake them for each other. Okay, everything I said, scrap it. This is just a Netflix science fiction movie that they happen to cast J-Lo in. It's nothing special.
A computer program.
I'm not entirely sure about her acting
I'm not.
in this either.
No? What are you then?
I am a computer
Jesus.
program named Smith.
No one likes a smartass, Smith.
I like
We
a
don't have
smartass.
much time. Harlan's planning an attack.
Atlas. My primary protocol
Shang-Chi
is
is
to keep
doing
you
his
alive.
Same.
most sinister acting as well.
I don't need your help. I don't trust any AI.
Everyone's on anime time right now.
Smith!
Atlas,
I didn't know what to
it
make
won't
of this
work
movie when I
if you
first saw
don't
the
trust me.
teaser,
Okay.
but I think what they're going for is Titanfall. If J-Lo was the pilot of the mech.
This is what it feels like to be you.
This is what it feels like to be us.
It's beautiful.
I mean, I guess it's okay looking.
We're simply the better versions of you.
I just think everyone's
We don't
overacting
stop
kind of
Harlan.
hard.
All life on Earth is doomed.
Although Shang-Chi is...
Shit.
You're in my head, and the only thing you learn how to do is curse?
I'm an adaptive learner.
Why do they show the anime like it's some kind of molecule?
Let's go, bitch.
Let's go, bitch. Damn, dude. See, the shot of the mech kicking ass wasn't too bad. But the awkward shot of her jangling inside the mech while it was running was a little hokey. I don't know, this... The trailers for this kind of cut 50-50. Half the things about it look kind of legit. Half the other things kind of look really cheesy and shit. What was I saying about Shang-Chi? Oh yeah, he looks like he plays a pretty decent villain. He might be one of those actors that can switch villain and hero really easily. It was looking pretty intense back there. Cool, man. I gotta stop mixing up those two J-Lo movies. It's very confusing and awkward. And it's getting embarrassing as well. My bad. Secrets of the Neanderthals? Netflix, what the hell? I think that's a caveman doco. The Mummy Resurrection, that's probably fake. Okay, I'm getting distracted. I don't know. It looks like there's a lot of money put into the VFX. There's a lot of scenes of mech action. Maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. Maybe the trailers are just a little bit mid. It's totally normal for a trailer to be mid or even terrible. But the movie itself to be pretty decent. Could be one of those. It's just... I don't think J-Lo's acting is... The choices of the shots of her acting they're using in the trailers is not selling me that she's doing a good job. But I don't know. It's 50-50 enough that I'll hold out. I'll hold back on I won't roast it. I won't glaze it up either. Let it be what it's gonna be. When was the last time she acted in something? What was that movie where J-Lo was like the head of the strippers at some strip club and they were ripping off rich guys? Fuck, what was that movie called? It was apparently really good. Based on a true story too. About a bunch of strippers and prostitutes that were running game on rich men in Miami. They eventually got busted. I mean, of course they got busted, or we wouldn't know about it, and there would be no film, technically. That's the last movie I remember, like, big deal movie I remember J-Lo headlining, before this mech sci-fi shit. I can't think of anything in between, not counting the musical that's on the way out as well. I'm guessing this and that are going to come out around the same time. Really cool to see Atlas get an adaptation. What does that mean? Adapted from what? Hold up. What am I missing here? Is this from an anime or something? Atlas movie. Movie? Wikipedia? Can't wait till they adapt Thesaurus. Oh, you were joking. I thought maybe you were suggesting this was based on something that existed already. No, this is fresh. By a bunch of production companies no one's ever heard of. ASAP Entertainment, Safe House Pictures, Nyorrican Productions, Berlanti Schleiter Films. Holy shit. It's a bunch of fake shell companies. I think this movie might be a money laundering scheme. All these companies are going to disappear after the movie comes out. In fact, they're probably hoping it's going to bomb so they can get like a government grant tax back thing. Kind of like what Uwe Boll does with his movies. Although I think that trick only works in Germany. The movie bombs hard enough, you can get more money back than what you would have made on profit. Because of a government tax loophole or something. That's his whole bit. Simu Liu, that's his name. I keep calling him Shang-Chi. I gotta put more spec on his name. Mark Strong? I did not see Mark Strong in that entire trailer. What the fuck? How did I miss that? Wait, what? How did I miss that? Oh, maybe he's the voice of the... Show some respect. Maybe he's the voice of the AI inside her mech. Mark Strong does have a very strong voice. That wasn't meant to be a pun. No pun intended. A funny line from the first episode of the Fallout show. Show some respect. Oh, because respect, because RPG. I get it. It's pretty funny. I did see a clip of another good line. I think the ghoul says it. There's a moment where they give up on the main quest and they leave the head inside the giant axolotl because he has to go get replacement flasks, and he says something like first rule of the wasteland, thou shalt get sidetracked by a bunch of shit. And I was like, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good side quest joke. I haven't watched the show, but I did see that scene. I saw that clip on YouTube. Because people were putting up clips of like game reference stuff. That was pretty neat. 24-minute uptime? That seems lax. What does that mean? It's not up at all. It's actually quite flaccid right now. If it's up for 24 or more minutes, call your doctor. Okay, JLo. That's actually pretty cool poster. Not gonna lie. Can I see more of that? Look. No, go away. I want a bigger poster. This one. Tiny. Don't like it. This poster looks boring. Why is that the one I keep finding, but not the legit one? Come on. Are you serious? There isn't any big versions of that poster? Just the shitty one I don't like? Of J-Lo sitting in the cockpit? Clearly not an edger. Well, not now. Maybe later. Yeah, this is the one that keeps coming up everywhere. Not a fan. This is a bit generic. It's not really selling it. It's just a sweaty J-Lo looking freaked about something. It doesn't really tell a story, does it? I want to see this one. I want to see this one enlarged. Let's go size large. Atlas J-Lo poster. Oh wait, this is better. Why would you open it like this? I said, image, new tab. Hell yeah. Not exactly that complex a poster. Like, I can make this in Photoshop, but I think this is more provocative than the one of her just sitting in the cockpit from close up. It really does scream Titanfall, though. I feel like someone wanted to make a Titanfall movie before Titanfall got a chance to. Like, pip them, like, beat them to the finish line. Kind of like what Willy's Wonderland did with Five Nights at Freddy's. Someone should make a movie out of Titanfall. I think it would be good. I appreciate the game mechanically, but it's not really my thing. It was a little bit too online PvP focused. The second one had single player story, but I never got around to it. But the lore is interesting. The world building is interesting. You can make a pretty nice movie out of that. Have a secret anti-war theme kind of hidden in there. You can find the bigger poster of the one you like. Oh, were you trying? It's alright, I found it. I just had to change my search string. I just don't think... It kind of bothers me that most of her acting in the trailer is kind of... Like, if that's the best you got for the trailer, the movie's not looking great. Because J-Lo can act, kinda. I've seen movies where she's decent, but I've also seen movies where she's terrible. And this is leaning towards the latter. I did say I wasn't going to roast it. I'm already breaking my promise. Simu looks great, though. I don't think I've ever seen him play a villain. Why is this so low res? Good lord. Can we see some larger Simu? There we go. Look at that bad boy. He's got this cool blue eye contact lens thing going on. I don't know what's going on with his hairline. I don't like that. My man's looking intense. Good job. Close this. Her. Na 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 na. Sorry, I'm really enjoying this. I accidentally made a good cup of coffee. Princess juice is hitting hard today. Oh. Guess what I found? Last week, I found, on stream, I found a trailer for that sequel to Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. That really shitty indie Winnie the Pooh horror film that they made. And I only just found out they made a sequel, and we saw the trailer last week, and it was meh. Like, I don't really give a fuck. But since I watched that, the algorithm must have been like, yo, this guy wants to look at more shitty indie horror films based on things that should not be made into horror films. And it served me up a Bambi horror movie. There's a movie coming out called Bambi the Reckoning. Get the exclusive first look at Bambi the Reckoning, the next installment in the Pooniverse. Oh my god. How big was the poster you found? Not full screen, but 600 by 900 kind of thing. I did not realize this was actually connected to the Winnie the Pooh movie. The Pooniverse? That is such an unfortunate name. Okay, so they found success. They made money with the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. And now they're going to make unofficial horror movies out of other Disney properties and combine them into one universe? What the fuck? Why? Follow Xana and her son Benji, who find themselves in a car wreck and hunted by a vicious killing machine, Bambi. That's the whole plot? Bambi will destroy anyone in its path. Oh dear, we aren't done. Oh. I get it. It's a pun. Oh dear. Fuck you. Apparently the Blood and Honey sequel was quite good. I don't believe you. I know the first one was terrible, and I know the second one looks better because it's got higher production values because they made money the first time, but I ain't watching that shit, man. The movie's too new. The cover image is not in many places yet. Yeah, I think that's why it was hard for me to find a bigger one, but we got there in the end. It's okay. It's not even out yet, so we haven't even got the big marketing drops yet. Got a theatrical release. What, the second one? Did the first one not get a theatrical release? The first Pooh. I can't believe they're calling it a Pooniverse. And I can't believe they're making a Pooniverse. I have to see this trailer. Hang on. I must know. A pheasant. Hey, the cinematography's not bad. It's a crisp shot. Are they leaving bait for the evil Bambi? First was just a streaming. Ah, fair.
You ever shot a deer?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
I'm calling it now. He killed Bambi's mom. He's the hunter that killed Bambi's mom in the original film. And now Bambi's gone crazy and is hunting him and every other human it can find. That's it. That was... Oh, hello. We got CG. Hey, Bambi. That's a yak. That doesn't seem right. It didn't seem Bambi-esque. Title font sucks. I mean, technically everything sucks. I don't think there's any aspect of that movie that's actually going to be good, but... I don't know, that little teaser did have some okay cinematography, though. It set a mood, but then the title cheapened it again. So we ended up back in the middle. We ended up back at neutral. So, if they've got Winnie the Pooh and Bambi, what else are they going to turn into? Hang on, maybe there's news of this. What do they call it? The Pooniverse? Variety's got an article. Welcome to the Pooniverse. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey team to unite Pooh, Bambi, Tinkerbell, and more. Alright, we got Tinkerbell. There's going to be a Tinkerbell horror movie. That's amazing. What you going to do? Like fly into people's bodies and burst out of their stomachs? She's a tiny little fairy. I guess she could use the fairy dust to make people fly up in the air and drop them. Tinkerbell yonder, perhaps? Hang on. Modest versions of Bambi, Tinkerbell, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Tigger, Piglet, Mad Hatter, and... Oh, there's so many! Okay. So we're getting Tinkerbell. Peter Pan's name is there, so I'm guessing that Peter Pan and Tinkerbell are going to be the same movie. It's just going to be a Peter Pan horror movie. I wonder if that means that Peter Pan and Tink are going to be teamed up to kill people, or if Tink is the killer and Peter's going to be like a regular dude hunted by her or something. Pinocchio is kind of horrifying. If you've ever seen the Meat Canyon video, Meat Canyon did a short animation, horror animation of Pinocchio, where he's got multiple circular rows of teeth in his mouth, and he starts dragging in Geppetto like he's some kind of eldritch horror. If it's anything like that, that's going to be fucked up. That might be the scariest one. The Mad Hatter. So their concept for a horror movie based on Alice in Wonderland is basically just to make the Mad Hatter a psychopath. Although technically you could do anything with Alice in Wonderland. I've always wanted to make a film out of... there's a graphic novel by Zenoscope called Return to Wonderland. That's like an adult... It's like an adult sequel where Alice, in her older age, has kind of gone crazy from her memories in Wonderland. And she has a daughter now named Callie. And Callie's a brunette, and she's a much more of a modern teenager, young adult. Like, in the opening pages of the graphic novel, you see her, like, doing drugs with a boyfriend, having sex, like, in some park or whatever. Like, it's... You know, it's adult in that way, a little bit. But, yeah, so she's nothing like her mum, who was, like, from that peachy keen good girl era. She's, like, modern, bitchy, slutty chick. So Callie, like, ends up getting pulled into Wonderland after her mum commits suicide. Alice hangs herself in the living room of their house. And she ends up going in there, but Wonderland becomes a twisted reflection of her more problematic, edgy, gothic personality. Whereas before it was more loopy and trippy and goofy based on Alice's personality. So with through Callie's eyes, Wonderland is like this psychopathic place where Tweedledee and Tweedledum are these like marauding axe murderers, and the Cheshire Cat is this freaky tiger creature. The Mad Hatter is basically like a serial killer and a rapist. And at one point he drugs her and she wakes up on a table in his house covered in like the sushi platter thing, like completely naked, and she has to basically fight her way out. I think she breaks both his legs with a broken chair and then leaves him in his house with broken legs with the door open so that the creatures of Wonderland can crawl in and eat him. It's a pretty crazy book, man. But like when you're talking about Alice in Wonderland X horror, I'm like, someone should just adapt that. Make a Wonderland movie with Callie as the main character and just go completely twisted with it. And R-rated. I think that would be really cool. Someone say my name. Was that when I was describing Callie? I can't believe they're doing all of these. This is more than I expected. It's funny that they all have to now be under the banner of the Pooniverse, though. But just because Winnie the Pooh was the first one out. So unfortunate. That's such a goofy name. Is that meant to be the Mad Hatter in that picture? Oh, check this out. They released a poster for their concept. Okay. So the Mad Hatter looks like the Unknown from that fucked up Willy Wonka exhibit that was in the news recently. Pinocchio looks amazing. Pinocchio looks fucking horrifying. I think there was the rabbit in the top right might also be from Alice in Wonderland. I didn't mention that in the article, but there's a old lady with a syringe here. I don't know who she's meant to be. There's a grave that says Wendy with a creepy corpse of a woman crawling out of it. I think that's from Peter Pan. Wendy's probably an undead zombie. I don't know. I don't think Peter Pan or Tinkerbell are on this poster. Pooniverse Monsters Assemble 2025. Oh my god. No essence of bug in coffee? No, today was a good coffee. I got the balance of coffee to sugar just right. I like it when that happens. Good times, man. Okay, I still don't want to watch any of these movies, but I'm really fascinated by their concept and what they're going to do with this. I'll watch their trailers and that's about it. And then we'll see pop culturally on Twitter how the rest of it goes. Does being up to date in this truly ridiculous world make you feel better? You're not missing out on anything, you know. What? Does being up to date on this truly ridiculous world make you feel better? You're not missing out on anything, you know. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, there is nothing but being up to date with pop culture. I mean, that's where we live. There's no point in me being up to date with the outside world, because if I go outside right now, the same fucking tree is on the corner of my block that was there yesterday and the day before. The only thing that's changed with it is that a different dog from the next neighborhood over might have pissed on it. But you know what is interesting? What's happening in pop culture? Art. Who's making what? What games are coming out? And who they're made by? And what did they make before that? What films are coming down the pipe? What did they make before that? Who's producing it? Who's directing it? Who wrote it? Who's in it? What did they do before this? What's their career going like? Are they cancelled? What's happening on Twitter? That's life, man. You seem to know everything that's trending and in the front pages, so to speak. I mean, I always have, because I've always paid attention to it. I mean, I'm a media student. Since I was a young age, I went to TAFE to get advanced diplomas in media and communication. And then I went to uni for 4 years and got a media production bachelor. And then I went to film school. So basically, like, I've always paid attention to, in gaming and film circles, as to who's making what and when. Because that's the product I consume. I watch movies, I play games. I'm into both mediums enough that I have aspirations to create, which is why I went to film school and I've made short films of my own. I mean, you know, if you're into stuff enough to make it yourself, then you're going to be into it enough to keep up with what everyone else is doing as well. It's worth knowing the names of directors and actors and writers and production companies and stuff, just so you know who's doing what and what they did before and how that all gels together. It's fascinating. That's the industry, man. There are pluses and minuses to it, though. I mean, obviously, like, some trends are good, some trends are bad. Like, the fact that we're on a trend right now of remaking everything that used to be good, but making it not as good is unfortunate. Because a lot of classics that we used to love from the 80s, 90s, whatever, are now getting new versions that are just mid at best, or at worst, terrible. And that's sad. I don't understand why the industry doesn't focus its efforts if you're dealing with remakes. Why doesn't it focus its efforts on remaking things that didn't work? That's what I want to know. Like, if The Shining, for example, is a classic, a cult movie, a movie that everyone loves, just as an example off the top of my head, they want to remake it because everyone already loves it. But they're shooting themselves in the foot because the fact that everyone really loves it means that you're setting them up to not like your movie because you're remaking something that's already perfect in everyone's eyes. So it's a downhill battle. If you take a movie or a game or any kind of franchise that was a failure, that was fucking terrible, that didn't work, and you remake that and actually make it good, make it work, then you've achieved something. And that's what I don't understand. Like, I don't want to remake something that I love. I love The Thing already. I want to remake something that I thought had potential and should have been good. And I want to figure out how to make it reach its potential. As a creator, that's what I want to be doing. You said some face in the cover picture looked like something had been trending in the news. Oh, you're talking about the Willy Wonka experience that was viral a couple of weeks ago. We talked about that on not last Sunday, but the Sunday before that. Just as a quick primer, it was this huge event that everyone was talking about on Twitter and YouTube because it was this, what they call a Willy Wonka live action experience, like kind of a theme parky kind of thing, where in a warehouse they put little rides and stalls and they have all the decor made up to be Willy Wonka. But it was unofficial. It was just some dude trying to do it. And it was embarrassing. In fact, it was basically a scam. A lot of people called the cops because it was essentially an empty warehouse with a couple of streamers and a couple of like shitty backdrops on the wall. It was terrible. There was one actress playing an Oompa Loompa behind a desk that basically made it look like a meth lab. And that's why I referenced it, because one of the pictures, one of the most bizarre things from that Willy Wonka experience was they had a made-up villain that was never in Willy Wonka called the Unknown, which was this goth-looking dude with a top hat and a white mask on his face. And the announcer goes, "Oh no, kids, look out! It's the Unknown." And then this like creepy fucking dude comes out from behind a mirror and starts like pop locking and acting all weird. And it has nothing to do with Willy Wonka. And that dude went viral because people were so fascinated by this character they just invented out of whole cloth. And it looked exactly like the dude on that poster. Sure, it wasn't a Backrooms level. It looks. I will show you it right now. I will get you up to speed on this because it is fascinating. Wait, hang on. Let me do this on the other screen because Twitter sometimes has porn. I don't want to accidentally open something I'm not supposed to. Seankichu Wonka. Damn. Wait. Oh, crap. Okay, it's not coming up with the post I made about it. Wonka experience updates. Oh, there's a whole channel for it? Cool, man. Let's do it. Blip. Let's see. Here's some pictures from it. Let me enlarge on this for you. So this is someone's photo from the Willy Wonka experience. There's just black tarp and this shitty little sign. Willy's Cafe. Oh, we need more. We need more. There's more photos in this. Come on, where are they? What kind of terrible page is this if it's not actually showing any more photos from it? Okay, let me research. This page isn't helping. Willie's Cafe. Oh, there's the unknown. The video's better because you can hear him say his name out loud. They also advertised the Willy Wonka experience with a bunch of AI art, very obvious AI art. Oh, here's more photos of it. There's the crackhead Oompa Loompa. Yeah, so look at the left photo. It's just a concrete room, mostly empty, with just a couple of things set up. Like, if you took your kids here and you paid money to get in, you would think that you're about to get thrown in the back of a van. The fuck? Okay, never mind. Oh my god. Bottom right pic. Look at that. It looks like an empty cafeteria in a prison with a little pink jumping castle shoved in the back left corner. Wow. Much effort. I wish I could find a video clip of the unknown so you can hear them say his name. It's pretty funny. Look at her. She looks really happy. Now, she looks like she's messed out. I think they just got the photo at a terrible time. It's just a very unflattering photo. But it's like just a basic chemistry set laid out in front of her. Like, what's this supposed to be? Like the candy invention table? Like, families literally called the cops on this venue. Because they thought they were being scammed. Like, straight up. I'm hoping that the art comes up. Not that. Like, the posters for it, they didn't just create the image with AI art and then, like, write text on it. They literally created the whole poster in AI art. So even the text is fucked up. Like, it doesn't even read properly. Look at the unknown. Oh, there's no bigger photo of him than that. But yeah, he comes out from behind that mirror and he's like moving like all pop-locky, like he's meant to be scary. And you can start to hear kids start to scream and stuff. It's great. Willy Wonka experience poster. Oh my god, look at this photo. Just imagine going to a Willy Wonka event and it's just a room with that little towel pinned up on the wall. Good lord. There's nothing going on here. They couldn't have put less effort in if they tried. Here's one of them. This is one of the posters advertising the event. Enchirining Entertainment. Enchirining, that's meant to be enchanting. Cat Gacatting. Live performances, but the M has got an extra loop to it, so it's not even a letter that exists. Carchituns, Exar Sir Dre lollipops, and a pasadise of sweet teats. Good job, AI. You nailed it. If less people attended, the children turning up to this would have definitely disappeared. Yeah, maybe it was meant to be some big kidnapping scheme, but it was too successful. Like, too many people showed up, like it was meant to be a real thing. And they had to just, like, actually try to run the event for real. That's actually a really funny take on it. I kind of wish that part was true. I'm gonna just, in my head canon, I'm gonna assume that's actually what happened, because that's hilarious. Okay. Well, now you know. You're updated. Oh, you know what else speaking of Twitter, you know how that Fallout TV show came out recently? Just while we're on the Twitter tip. How cool is this? This is their premiere in LA. I think this is the Chinese theater. I love it how they didn't just check out the actual venue's art. It's like the whole surrounding area was turned to like a little apocalyptic wasteland with sand and boulders. Your life needs Enrique. I think you spelt it even worse. Oh yeah, and this. Check out this billboard. Wait, bigger. I think this is also in LA. They got a whole ass billboard with a vault door opening and closing. I wonder how complicated it is to make billboards that have this kind of mechanics going on. It's neat. It's eye-catching. Like, you don't forget it. The marketing does its job. I heard Bethesda are desperate for money. Well, not anymore. Fallout 4 is currently doing massive business because the TV show is successful. The TV show has gone off so hard that the sales on Steam of Fallout 4 have, like, gone crazy. So they're making a lot of money out of that. Exciting for them. Not as much for us. I wanted to go to this premiere. Look how cool that is. I hope people turned up in, like, Vault Tech gear and Wasteland cosplay. Just to fit in better with the decor. And here's the other thing. They had Vault Tech bus stops set up around LA. How cool is that? There's even, like, a little computer console in there. On the left-hand wall. Like a fake Vault Tech computer console. I don't know why I've got a photo of it at night. I think it's because it all lights up. It looks really cool. Neat, man. Oh. That's right. I'm really proud of this. Hang on. So, I was talking about these Fallout Vault-Tec bus shelters. Where did they hide the homeless people? They had to wait a couple of hours for them to drift away before they can get their photos. Also, they've got these extra rungs on the seats so you can't sleep on them. I think that's what those are for. Which is a bit sad. I was talking to someone about this, and we were talking about where this would be. Like, or if this was like fake or something. Like, could you have doctored this and these aren't actually real marketing things? So I got really curious, and I thought, can I do the GeoGuessr thing? That famous GeoGuessr guy, what's his name? Let me get his name real quick. Trevor Rainbolt. That's his name? Trevor Rainbolt? Really? American social media personality and player of GeoGuessr online geography game. Gained popularity through videos on TikTok showing GeoGuessr gameplay. I mean, he's amazing. I don't even know how he does what he does. What is his Instagram? Where are his links? Bro. Where the hell are his links? Why would you talk about someone on Wikipedia but not actually put links to his shit? Geo Rainbolt. Okay. Is this the right guy? Let me make sure it's him. Yeah, LA's got one of the biggest homeless issues in the USA. Yeah, San Francisco as well, I think. Like, they have a feces problem there. A lot of homeless people just, like, shit everywhere. On sidewalks in the street. I don't know why San Francisco specifically has such a huge problem with that, but there's a website. We've looked at it on stream, actually, ages ago. There's a website where it's basically like Google Maps for San Francisco, except it shows you where all the poo is. Like, there's icons for where all the discovered shit is, and there's a lot. I've, like, gone through it. You can even, like, click on the icons and go down to Street View and actually see pictures. They've got photos of the poo. I don't know why someone went and made a whole website just to track that. Seems like a lot of effort for something that has dubious practical use. Millions of dollars spent on Fallout marketing, meanwhile homeless people rotting on the side of the city. Well, I mean, that's two different issues. A movie studio is not going to be solving homelessness. That's not really their job. That's like, they're a business, and that's their money. The city of LA, the government itself, is supposed to be putting money towards helping the homeless. And they also have millions of dollars to use for such occasions, such issues. And fuck knows what they're doing. But then again, I guess there's lots of issues they have to deal with, so they would have a priority list of things to spend money on. And maybe that one's not quite near the top. This world's priorities are lost. Well, it's just capitalism. I mean, especially in America, the land where you can basically pull yourself up by your bootstraps and create anything from nothing and become rich. But then once you're rich, people have expectations of you. They're like, why aren't you solving world hunger or homelessness? And it's like, bro, I was homeless and hungry at one point, and now this person like Jeff Bezos, whoever, has created a fortune for themselves, and now they're expected to be some benevolent savior. And it's like, well, end of the day, it's their money that they made. It's up to them what they do with it. And if they just want to run their business and live a life of decadence, I mean, that's their thing. That's the world of the free. You can also be benevolent and give lots of money to charity and live humbly, like Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves apparently lives quite humbly, and he gives a lot of money away to a lot of different causes. Then those rich people run the government, and then it's like, okay, well, the government has its own money, and the politicians that work for the government earn a lot of money by working for it, but it's not like they're using their own money to do that stuff. Like the capitalistically rich people, they're sitting up on big treasure troves of money because their business is successful, and they don't really owe anyone anything for that. They can still do amazing things with it if they want to, but it's a want-to thing. Like, if you were suddenly a millionaire, like, what would you do with it? Would you just live it up for the rest of your life, or would you stay humble and start giving it all away to become part of the solution rather than the problem? I guess everyone has to ask themselves that question at some point. I think most of us would just, like, live comfortably. You found some kind of success or some kind of luck. And now that you're on Easy Street, it's like you can sit back and chill. Depends on if it's an even million. Million wouldn't last that long. Yeah, true. I mean, if you just continue to live normally like you do now and don't do anything extravagant, you could stay comfortable like that for quite a while. But it definitely wouldn't last forever. This is the guy, by the way. This is him. Geo Rainbolt. Don't know where he got that name from. I've never known that was his actual name. So I tried to do him with his amazing geoguessing bullshit. And I wanted to figure out where this was, and I actually did. Especially using this photo, because you can see some businesses in the background there. Let me enlarge on this. You can see some businesses in the background there. You can see some street signs. There's a pretty iconic building just behind it. You can see like these concrete slats of the glass behind it. So I'm like, I've got something to go on here. So I went all in on this. Check this out. I found it. I found where this bus stop is. Right here, where I pinned on the map. The corner of Beverly Boulevard and Fairfax in Los Angeles. Right on this corner here. Let me show you proof. There. That bus stop right there. That is that fallout shelter we're just looking at. There's that slatted concrete building with the glass behind it, with the smaller one just here to the left. If I spin the camera to here, in front of it, you can see the same street signs of businesses down there on the left that you can see from the other angle. I'm very proud of this. This is the only time I've ever pulled off a GeoGuess on something specific. This is my Rainbolt claim to fame moment. This is my 5 minutes of fame. It took a lot of effort. I dicked around with this for a while just to see if I could figure it out. I'm glad I finally got there. Super proud.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh, well played. That was a good one. I'd like to see you pull it off though. Go on, get like a random photo and see if you can figure out where in the world it is, what street corner it's on. Do some Google Map geoguessing. It's not as easy as it sounds. Okay. I'm not going to do it again, though. You don't care where a random photo is? I don't either, but I still did it. Now I can say I've geoguessed successfully. Which means a lot to me, because I'm not good with geography like that, so... At least I can say I got something correct. Geographically, for the first time ever. Fly me to the moon. Why am I singing that? Oh, I just saw a related thumbnail on YouTube for a movie called Fly Me to the Moon. That's why I started singing that. I scrolled right past it, but my subconscious grabbed a hold of it. Wait, what is this? Hang on, what is this? It's by Sony Pictures, which means it's a big deal movie. Starring Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. Oh, shit. Fly Me to the Moon is a sharp, stylish comedy drama set in the high-stakes backdrop of NASA's historic Apollo 11 moon landing. Cool. Scarlett Johansson's a marketing person, wreaking havoc on launch director Channing Tatum's already difficult task. So it's a rom-com about a marketing director and a launch director at NASA. That's a weird backdrop for a rom-com, but I'll buy it.
Hey, Joe.
Evening, Cole.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Miss, you're on fire.
Very original. No, I do not want to stop, drop, and roll with you.
No, your book is on fire.
Did you just pour alcohol in an open flame?
They like each other. Cole Davis.
Kelly Jones.
Cool.
Public
Good start.
for the moon mission is rock bottom.
Every day, something.
Oh shit, Woody Harrelson's here as well.
And we're dead. Again. Yeah, we're blowing up.
Oh shit.
The space program is a bloated mess.
Channing Tatum just die?
A marketing specialist, and you are the very best.
Excuse me? What are you doing here?
I tracked you down because I felt we had a connection.
She probably set that up so she could... She's one of those journalists. Scarlett Johansson fits really well into this era. She's got a great look for this.
What?
I'm joking. I work here now to sell the moon.
NASA's not something that you sell with a jingle and a slogan.
When I'm done,
Oh, she's trying to sell NASA out.
Who is that?
Promotional tie-ins with Kellogg's and
You
stuff.
told me that your guys don't do interviews, so I had to hire new guys.
I'm here for the casting.
Who's he?
You're a juicy part.
60 missions in Korea.
I flew 52 missions in Korea.
I flew 52 missions in Korea. How's that?
What?
The whole world will be watching.
Is it supposed to be 1969? I guess.
Russians. We need to shoot the backup version of the moon landing.
Oh, wow.
You mean to fake it? No one.
Okay, that's more interesting a plot. They're going to film a fake version of the moon landing in case the real moon landing fails, because they don't want to look bad. That's an interesting premise.
And ever know what we're doing.
I cannot accept that.
They will shoot you.
What is my budget?
Oh, boy.
I know a lot more about the moon.
Are they going
I
to get
know
Stanley
about you.
Kubrick to do it? Because that was the conspiracy theory in real life, that Stanley Kubrick is the one that directed the fake moon landing.
Every single thing that we have sacrificed will have been for nothing.
You know you couldn't have made it to this day without me.
Is he meant to be Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong?
3, 2,
Okay, I like...
Armstrong is a whiny little bitch. We have to recast.
Damn.
I think we should have gotten Kubrick.
Oh, there's a Kubrick reference at the end. So they're just going to name drop him as a shout out to the conspiracy theory. Is Channing meant to be Neil Armstrong? Oh no, he's the launch director, Cole Davis. He's not one of the astronauts. Okay, got it. I wasn't sure. It looked okay, but I wasn't sure how I felt about it until that part of the plot where they have to successfully do the moon landing but fake it at the same time as a backup plan. I like that. That's a good setup. I'm curious about that part of the story. If there's rom-comminess going on in the middle of all that, that part I'm like not really that particularly interested in. NASA lost the footage of the moon landing but remastered it for history's convenience. Oh, nice. In 4K, in Blu-ray HD. The first comment. Every moon landing conspiracy theorist is going to be like, see, I told you so. Man, it's a light-hearted comedy. Y'all can chill. I'm disappointed that they just went with the Kubrick name drop gag as opposed to just actually writing him into the story as the director of the fake moon landing. I would have liked to see some actor like playing a version of Stanley Kubrick. That man was intense. Mr. Tormenting Shelley Duvall until she goes completely insane and stops acting for the rest of her life. That's Stanley Kubrick. I want to see him put to celluloid. That looked okay. I didn't mind that. This is going to start... The algorithm's going to start pitching me with fucking rom-coms now, I bet you. I gotta turn this back around. Oh, there's a new trailer for Abigail. Remember Abigail? Oh wait, you might not have been there when we saw the teaser for Abigail. It's the one that in the teaser trailer it sells the movie like it's a kidnapping story, like a bunch of bad guys kidnap a little girl from a rich family to take her hostage for money. But then it turns out the little girl's a vampire and they all get hunted over the course of the night. So, you know, it flips and then the villains become the victims. That was a teaser though. There's an actual final trailer out. I think I've watched the teaser and the first trailer both on here. Now there's another trailer. What is there more to show though? That's what I want to know. There's only a minute long, which is pretty short for an official trailer. Oh, it's just more of her being creepy, I guess.
Please let me out. I'm scared.
Cut the shit.
This
You're really good at pretending to be a little girl.
Thank you.
is just a scene from the movie.
Quick question. Who's inside a cage right now?
Stupid question. No one asking for that.
What do we know about vampires? How do we kill it?
Crucifixes.
I mean, the thing with vampires and zombies in movies is that people always have to talk about the rules, but everyone knows the rules.
Find a way out of here.
We split up.
There's nobody that doesn't know the rules at this point.
This is just a game to her.
What can I say? I like playing with my family.
Hello?
Well, I mean, that was unnecessary. I think we got everything we need from one teaser and one trailer. That was just like one whole scene and then a couple of montages of people getting vampired. Why, Abigail? Why? At some point you can stop making trailers. It's fine. We don't need all this. Absolute garbage. Who's making that again? I think that's the thing that really makes a difference sometimes. If it's Blumhouse, then it's a 50-50. Blumhouse's track record is all over the place right now. Matt Bettinelli Olpen? Never heard of this man. Oh wait, hang on. This has actually got lore. A reimagining of a 1936 Universal classic monster film, Dracula's Daughter. Ah, cool. Well, that just gave this a little bit more intrigue. Is that a movie? Dracula's Daughter. 1936 American vampire horror film produced by Universal. Sequel to the 1931 film Dracula. Cool. Countess Myra Zelensky, daughter of Count Dracula. Following Dracula's death, she believes that by destroying his body, she'll be free of his influence and live normally. When this fails, she turns to a psychiatrist. The Countess kidnaps Dr. Garth's assistant Janet, takes her to Transylvania, leading to a battle between Dr. Garth and the Countess, an attempt by him to save Janet. That is a very different movie. How is the movie that we just saw the trailer for related to this? Like, the connection just seems to be the idea that Dracula would have a daughter, and that's it. That seems like a very tenuous connection. I was excited for a second, now I'm less excited again. Because it doesn't sound like it has anything to do with it. It's like how they kept trying to do things with xenomorphs. Yeah, they, I don't like Prometheus or Covenant. It really didn't do it for me. I'm feeling better about the new one, Romulus, because it's not really Scott anymore. It's, I think it's Freddy Alvarez, who did Don't Breathe and a couple of other low-key horror films that were actually pretty decent. Is it Alvarez? I might be misquoting that. I'll check later. So the director is actually interesting. And the teaser trailer was actually pretty good. And didn't show too much. It did show some of the best head crab effects I've seen yet from Alien. You just see them pouring out through this corridor, and one chick gets absolutely annihilated by a head crab to end the trailer. And that was pretty cool. So, I mean, I'm a little bit more optimistic about that. If it was just another sequel to Covenant and Prometheus by Ridley Scott himself, I'd be like, meh, boo. What changed the movie production? Why was the original Alien a masterpiece? There's lots of factors. In some respects, sometimes classics are as good as they are because they were made under tighter budgets and constraints, and an auteur director at the time had to figure out how to make it work with constraints, and that ended up turning into a classic. Nowadays, it's too easy to have a movie studio throw too much money at something and try to force quality through just pure dollar signs. Like, if we just throw more money at it, add more visual effects, equals good? Doesn't. Sometimes constraints are what makes it good. Like, Neil Blomkamp. He made District 9 under constraints, and that's a classic. And none of the movies he's made since have been as good. They haven't been terrible. They've just been kind of mid to okay. But that first one hit hard, and everyone loves it. Sometimes it's the case of filmmakers losing their touch. Like, for example, Ridley Scott was very good back in those days when he made Alien, and when he made Terminator, and wait, hang on, the Terminator, a few others as well, like Blade Runner, for example. He was at the height of his, I guess, creativity back then. But modern Ridley Scott is kind of terrible. And he's kind of up himself as well. Wouldn't unlimited budget help? It can help, but it can't replace filmmaking ingenuity and vision. So, with movies that don't have a high budget, they're forced to have greater vision and ingenuity to make it work because you have nothing else to make it work. With higher budget modern movies where movie studios are just throwing cash at things, sometimes it's the creative vision is not there because all they've done is smashed a couple of creatives together and thrown money at them, and they just pump out some trash. There's no impetus, there's no motivation to extend beyond what's possible and make something truly that truly stands out. It's like Jaws. Jaws is only as good as it is because Steven Spielberg was forced to make it the way he made it. Originally, they were going to show more of the shark. It was going to be more of a monster. It's going to be more of a presence. And they had like animatronics and all kinds of stuff made to make the shark work. And it all failed. Like, they didn't have enough money to make the shark work. Like, they put all their money into making the shark, and then it wasn't working, and it kept breaking, and it was about to ruin the production. And Steven Spielberg had to sidestep, and he had to basically change his vision to make a version of the movie where you don't see the shark almost ever. You only occasionally sometimes see the fin with the scary, like, da-da music, and the rest was left to the viewer's imagination. And that's what made Jaws a classic. Like, Jaws is a complete fuck-up, but the vision of Steven Spielberg at the time to fix it as much as possible, to at least get something on screen, is what made it good. Like, he accidentally made a better thriller that's more intense and that's scarier because he was forced not to be able to use the shark because they had enough money to make it. They didn't have enough money to make it work. Like, they were in a really bad position. And, you know, it's that sidestep that made history. And then every Jaws after that, they showed a lot more shark. They made it much more of a serial killer vibe movie where you're always seeing the shark and it's always going after people. And then it started using CG and comping. There was like CG fake sharks coming at the camera and stuff. And it was straight to DVD trash from then on. None of the other Jaws movies ever worked. And there was like 4 of them. Yeah, there's a lot of examples of that where filmmakers or companies would have done a lot more based on what they envisioned, but because they couldn't, they made a classic by accident. What about Terminator 2? Terminator 2 had money, and you do see it on screen, but that was James Cameron just saying fuck it and doing his own thing. Because Terminator 1 was a lot more of a low-key movie. It was more just a movie about one guy chasing one chick. It wasn't too over the top. Like, if you compare them side by side, you can tell that Terminator 1 was like a lot more low budget and low-key. And then Terminator 2, because it was successful and now had money, James Cameron was like, let me just go all out with this and like put that money on screen. We're going to blow up cars. We're going to have motorcycle chases and storm drains. We're going to have a CGI Terminator that can turn to liquid. But James Cameron is particularly good at, how would you explain it? He's particularly good at the mechanics of filmmaking. He's kind of an engineer-minded person, so he knows how to work with both big budget film sets, visual effects, and like stunts. Like he's really good at wrapping his head around how to put all that shit together. Which is why when he does something like Terminator 2 or Alien 2, that was his, Aliens, he did the same thing. Alien 1 was very low-key. You almost never see the alien, and it's basically a bunch of people walking around sets looking scared. In Alien 2, it was James Cameron again, doing the same thing in Terminator, where he went, give me a bigger budget, I'm going to put fucking aliens everywhere. It's going to be thousands of them. And we're going to have a fight with a mech crane against the alien queen, and it's going to be all this like cool shit. And then you see Titanic, and then you see Avatar with the blue people. And then you realize that this is James Cameron's specialty, is like really like basically running the circus on a very big budget production. He just knows how to think about all the different aspects of like a film's production on a large scale, from stunts to production to visual effects. He understands all of it. I mean, he works directly himself with visual effects. Like, they invented 3D camera stuff to make better VFX for Avatar. Like, he's a very tech-minded guy. So sometimes it's really the person behind it all that can make all the difference. Like Ridley Scott was that person who could make all the difference. He was a visionary. He was an auteur. But it's modern Ridley Scott doesn't seem to give a shit anymore, and he's been making some pretty bad movies. He's just kind of run out of that energy, I guess. Who made Alien 3? That was David Fincher, the maker of Seven, Fight Club, and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and Memento, and Social Network. Sorry, I don't need to name all his movies. But you can kind of tell when you compare them all. Fincher has a very dingy, high contrast visual style. When you look at how Fight Club and Seven are filmed, you can see that he made Alien 3. That kind of disgusting yellowy green, grungy kind of visual style is the same in Alien 3, Fight Club, and Seven. Like he just has this vibe that follows him around between movies. Even that high contrast dark look, even that even followed him to Social Network, which was just a drama about the making of Facebook. You can see his cinematography style in that movie, even. Cinematographical? I don't even know if that's a word. I might be making up a word there. But he's one of the most modern auteurs that we've got. Like, he's not as old school as people like James Cameron and Ridley Scott and Steven Spielberg. He's more of a modern director than that, but he's pretty... His hit rate is huge. His ratio of good to bad movies is almost all good movies. His home run ratio is amazing. And I don't know how he does it. I think cinemonography. I think he comes from a background in music videos, which is why the visual style of his movies is so iconic. Like, you can tell it's got his calling card on it. It just feels like him when you see one of his films. You can also see it in the intros. Have you noticed that David Fincher movies always have very music video-y like intros? You know, where music plays and you're getting montages of like CG crazy shit with the names of the actors coming up on screen. Like Fight Club's got that, Seven's got that, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo's got that, which is this amazing CG sequence of like this woman's head being built out of like this black tar-like liquid in 3D, while like Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song plays. But it's like a Nine Inch Nails cover of it. Like, he somehow gets his music video passed into his movies with the intros. He seems to love it, but it is a bit of a calling card. Oh my god! Speaking of remakes, you know how we were just talking before about remakes? Hollywood's trying to make a remake out of every classic thing that anyone's ever loved. I just found through my through the algorithm, thanks algorithm, they're making a remake of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I guess you have to be of a certain age to remember what this is. 17-year-old Tanya can't wait to spend the summer. Blah blah blah. We all know the plot to this fucking movie. Do you remember this? Ginger makes me sneeze. Cinnamon made me puke. Since then I haven't eaten cinnamon and haven't puked. What the fuck? I like cinnamon. Not on its own, but I like cinnamon on stuff. Yeah, this Nicole Richie, what the fuck? I haven't heard about her in ages. The original movie in the 80s, I remember seeing this when I was a kid on VHS. It was about this teen girl that her parents leave and they leave her with a babysitter. And she's kind of offended by that. And the babysitter is a piece of shit and really cruel and abusive. And the babysitter ends up dying, I think. And then she has to cover it up. Not quite in the Weekend at Bernie's style way, but still like black comedy. But I don't think it's a classic. It's kind of iconic of its era, but I don't know why they'd be remaking this. Who's making it? Doesn't say. Like, is this Paramount? Is this Sony? Like, what the fuck is this about? It's R-rated, so they're... I don't think the original was R-rated. So they're doing a heavier version of it, I guess. Maybe more realistic.
Whoa! And now she has to go to Thailand to an immersive 2-month yoga meditation retreat. So we
Oh, it's
can
a black
have
family
whole
now.
ourselves. We finna live like white kids. We crank it
Oh, okay. It's a BET production. That explains a lot. Why is BET making their own version of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead? Whose idea was that?
I'm Ms. Durak.
Holy shit, this is hilarious.
Thank you, Ms. Durak. There goes my summer. I know how to discipline you. I watch Medea movies.
Oh, this is actually kind of racist, man.
This garbage. Where do you think you're going? Get that crap
Whoa,
out of your
dude.
system.
Do something, bro. I know you said no guests, but we had already invited our church friends for Bible study. Oh, and you might hear music, but it's Christian hip hop.
Hip hop ruined the blacks.
Whoa. She did.
Good morning, Mrs. Durak.
It's the name of the film.
Mrs. Durak?
Oh, she's blue.
Sweet.
Alright, people don't turn blue that quickly. It's just overnight, man.
I'm for sure going to juvie. We're hungry. You gotta get a job.
Cult classic reimagined. I don't think Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is considered a cult classic. I just don't.
Executive assistant to the chief executive officer.
Bring it in, sis. Whoa. A-frame hugs only. I didn't spend 3 hours in that sexual harassment course for nothing.
You're screwed.
Whoa. Okay. This whole movie, this whole trailer's kind of awkward.
We don't need another mouth to feed.
You all live here?
Along with our mom. She's not here. She's
Out on a very deserving spa day. I'm high as hell. I can't believe it's like
Cop is really intense.
on you. I just have so much responsibility right now. Die!
Why wouldn't you just call the police? Because if you did that, there'd be no movie. You need people to make mistakes so a plot can happen.
You're having parties without me? Help out. You goddamn dish, man! Dishes are done, man.
You know what? I kind of don't mind if BET wants to make an all-black version of, like, everything. You know what? It's kind of funny when they do it, because BET is random like that, but if they want to just, like, go from movie to movie and just make the black version of every single classic that's ever existed, I'd be on board for that. I might not watch all of them, but some of the worst ones, even in trailer form, would be kind of entertaining. It's the funniest movie of the year. I don't even think the original was the funniest movie of the year. It's just a well-known 80s film. That's all. Maybe that's the thing. Because it's not really that much of a cult classic, maybe it was affordable for BET to buy the rights and then make the black version of it. I can't believe they had a white old lady reference Medea in the trailer. There's certain parts of that just... I can see they were going for race humor, but they came off as awkward. You know, like, I know this is made by black creators, but it's still somehow coming off as racist. The ego on some people is so disappointing. What, to think that they can remake classics and make them as good? I don't think there's ego involved. Like, I don't think they actually genuinely believe they can make a better movie. I think they just want to make money. Like, the movie doesn't even have to be good, that's the thing. As long as it's got name recognition, like, as long as people that are old enough to know what Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is, they know that they're going to sell tickets. So the movie can be good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's just cha-ching. Being comfortable with dropping lines like "don't miss this" during the trailer? Well, that's not the actual creators of the film, though. I've been on the receiving end of that as well with stuff that I've made. There are people in marketing whose whole job it is to sell things, like to push them up. So, like, you'll see trailers for things which say stuff like "from the visionary creator of," but it's not actually the director of the film that said that or put that in the commercial. Usually, they're actually quite embarrassed by that stuff. I've seen interviews with directors that joke about like how crazy working on big budget stuff with big production companies is, because you'll just see trailers or marketing promotion for your stuff in magazines, on billboards, or on YouTube, and it'll just be glazing them up and talking about them. They're like there's some kind of legendary director, and that they have nothing to do with any of that stuff. That's just like the marketing team going all out, trying to sell the shit. You'd be like, take that shit down. The thing is, you don't really have a say. If you're directing a film for some like Hollywood studio, you have certain amount of control from a creative standpoint, but not from a promotional, marketing, sales standpoint. Like, they're just going to do what they're going to do. And sometimes that means, I guess, making the general public think that you've got some kind of like ego because your own movie is talking about you like you're some kind of legend. You don't have a say in your own art. I mean, depends on what you mean by a say in your art. Like, a large percentage of what you're doing with the film you have a say in because you're the director, but you don't actually have final say. In most studio situations, the production company itself, the producers, the bigwigs, they do have the power to overstep you on certain things that they deem important. So if you want to fight like a producer on what to take out or leave in the movie in the final cut, it can be a bit of a shit fight because legally and contractually, you don't actually have final cut say. Generally, they want to have a good relationship with you as a director that has name brand recognition, because they might want to work with you again because your name sells films if you're like a Ridley Scott or whatever. But they will fight you on stuff that sometimes is that's antithetical to art. Like, they'll want something taken out or put in that they think will sell the movie or that will work better for what audiences, based on some surveys or whatever, they think they want in today's climate, but it doesn't suit your film because it goes against the themes or it kind of fucks up some aspect of the story, and then that just becomes a big shit fight. Filmmaking sounds like a nightmare. A lot of aspects of it is a nightmare. I've made short films just for myself and it was a nightmare. It was the most exhausting thing I've ever been through. I Am Legend is a good example. The movie with Will Smith that's based on that famous book. The whole theme behind I Am Legend is that it's the final surviving human trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic New York with these vampiric sunlight-hating creatures that now have taken over the city, and he's the only human left alive, trying to make his way. And the theme of the book, the whole plot twist, the whole point of the story, is that he discovers that he is the monster, not the monsters that he's trying to survive against. Because in this new version of the Earth where the humans are extinct, these nighttime-based creatures are now the predominant species that live in the terrain. Like, they're the new humans. And they have their own society and culture going on that we're not privy to. But from his point of view, they're just some monsters that creep around at night and that he has to survive against. But what he discovers at the end is that in the culture of these creatures, he is actually the legend. That's why the story is called I Am Legend. Like, he is the scary boogeyman, the creature, the thing that's not like them, that creeps around during the day and sets up traps and ends up like capturing or killing members of like their, tribe of creatures. And so they're actually scared of him, and their hostility towards him is based on their fear of him because he's always killing them. And so that is like the big twist and theme of the story. And when they made that Will Smith movie, they showed it to some really dumb redneck test audience, and the test audience didn't really understand. They wanted the hero to win and defeat the monsters. They were kind of stupid. And the production company just went, oh no, we want people to like movie and give us more money. So they made the director change the ending to an ending where Will Smith sacrificed himself with a grenade to blow up the last remaining monsters so that the woman and the kid can escape and go on and leave the city and survive. It was a very stupid ending that completely killed the entire theme of the film. And everything in the story leading up to that ending is designed to set up that plot twist. All the ingredients, all the foreshadowing is there. And when it doesn't happen, when they do this stupid replaced ending, it fucks up the whole movie because then it doesn't make sense. Like, everything, all the build-up is then thrown out of the window. So the theatrical release of that movie is actually very bad. But then when it came out on Blu-ray, they included the director's cut ending, where you can actually watch the director's cut version of the movie with the original intended proper ending, where they actually do complete the theme of the book, where when the monsters finally assault his hideout and they come face to face with him, and he realizes their fear of him and that they're actually there to get the female creature back that he's kidnapped and is doing tests on, like a psycho. He realizes what he's been doing and what they're all about, and there's a really tense standoff moment where he lets the alpha one in and they're face to face. You don't know what it's going to do. It's going to bite his face off, whatever. And they end up just taking the female back and leaving and not touching him. And then he realizes what it's been about the entire time and what he's been doing. And he basically just ends up leaving the city with the other two survivors, having learnt like a lesson, I guess. It's a very good example of how a studio can change and ruin art based purely on sales and on, trying to sell movie tickets and not understanding the art or the point of a film or the story and not giving a shit. So yeah, that's a horrible case study when you're a creator. Like if you're a writer director who wants to tell stories and make films, that's the kind of thing that you generally try to avoid. There's nothing worse than making something big budget for a big studio and then having them ruin your work, and then it makes you look bad, like you're a bad film storyteller. Is Alien 3 considered generally bad? Yes, it was considered the black sheep of the franchise for a long time. It's garnered some cult following now. Like there are a lot of people that like it a lot more now in retrospect than how it was received for the longest time. But there's you can watch like hour-long like documentary stuff about what happened with Alien 3 on like YouTube and stuff. There's a lot of story behind that. It's pretty crazy. Because the movie was meant to be something totally different. There's actually a teaser trailer out for that film that came out long before they even started filming it, where it's a shot of space and you hear some people freaking out over like a radio, and there's a long push in and you hear people like freaking out, dying, whatever. It's all audio based. And then the camera pans down and you see Earth, and then it cuts to the title. So this teaser was made long before they filmed anything. So it was basically made, there was nothing in it. It was just a conceptual thing. But the whole idea behind Alien 3 was that they were going to go to Earth, and that the aliens were going to get free on Earth, and the head crabs are going to impregnate a bunch of different animals, like domestic animals, wild animals, animals at the zoo. So things like rhinos, fucking dogs, cats, like they were all going to basically hatch different versions of the aliens. So there'd be different types of xenomorphs depending on the thing that it hatched out of. Like the xenomorph we know and love is a bit more humanoid because it hatches out of the body of a human. So it's borrowing DNA from where it gestated. So the crazy thing is that it sort of happened just not on Earth. Yeah, the only thing they kept from their original concept in the original scripts was the dog. So on that prison planet, the alien hatches, the Ed Crab hatches a xenomorph out of a dog's body. So it's that more dog-like, like low to the ground, much faster, crawling on the ceilings all the time kind of version. But that's a small piece of what it was meant to be. It was originally meant to be like this outbreak on Earth, and like people in the city all getting picked off by xenomorphs, and they were all based on different animals. And like there would be a big like charging battering ram one that was based on like a rhinoceros that would just like run through cars and stuff. They got so far with that concept that there is a toy line that was released that is all the animal aliens that you could buy in like Toys R Us, that was released long before the film even started, and then the film just never ended up happening in that form. It completely changed. But they got as far as to get the toys out. I wonder if you can find them online, because I had a friend who had a bunch of them. We used to play with them. And when I was a kid, I didn't actually know the significance of that until I was older and found out about all that stuff. There's the dog alien. Some of the I'm getting the official toys. Yeah, I'm looking for the ones that came out before the movie. The early ones. God, I remember playing with them with a friend. It was crazy. Here's one with a battering ram head. That might have been one of them. What's this one? Movie Mania. Oh no, this is a more recent thing. I don't know if this is... I don't know what you type in to find these. You thought the alien came out of a cow? I thought it was a dog. In fact, it's got a lot of dog ones in these toys. It's one of the dogs they had in the prison. Yeah, here it is. They got the toy dog, the toy head crab, and the toy dog version of the Xeno. There it is again. I'll make it bigger. It's like that. It's always the same breed of dog too, so that must be accurate. I'm not finding any of those old abandoned ones. Alien 3. Rare. Fuck, they're not coming up at all. They would be like a collector's thing at this point. If anyone still has any of those toys, that'd be a crazy collector's item. That'd go for so much on eBay. You recall it coming from a cow? You might be thinking of Alien Resurrection. The one where they bring Sigourney back by cloning her, and she's got some alien DNA in her body, and she has acid blood. And for some reason, it makes her really good at basketball. Now that was a scene. Alien Resurrection was directed by Joss Whedon. Not sure if you knew that. That's a bit of trivia. No, wait, sorry. It was directed by a French director based off a script by Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon actually wrote Alien Resurrection, which is why it's a funnier movie. It's got a bit more of a sense of humor. But then it was translated through the lens of a French director, which didn't have the same sense of humor, which is why Alien Resurrection is really weird. And Joss has actually talked about that. One of the things you remember about it because it was nasty. That's fair. But anyway, like, if you ever find, like, any making of or docos about Alien 3, you should watch it. It's really fascinating. That movie was a clusterfuck. David Fincher talks about that being, like, one of the worst times of his life. Because the movie was being extremely micromanaged by the production company. And they also didn't know what they wanted. So as they were making Alien 3, the script wasn't finished. They were actually writing the script as they were making the movie, and it was changing scene by scene, day by day. And it was never the same. And it was just an absolute nightmare. Most people who were involved in it would tell horror stories about how much of a clusterfuck that set was. And how everything was always going wrong or being controlled or changed in ways that didn't make sense by the studio. Because Fincher wasn't a big deal yet. He hadn't made his first couple of movies that made him famous, like Memento or Seven or whatever. Like, this is back when he was still a music video director who was looking for opportunities to get into filmmaking. So it was one of those things where because he didn't have a name or any clout, the movie studio just walked all over him and, like, was forcing him to do stuff or to not do stuff, as the case may be. So yeah, it's a bit nuts. How do we end up there from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead? Oh, yep, the algorithm's taking over. Hello, YouTube. Since we just watched the trailer for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, it's now showing me other remakes I didn't know about. Like Spiderwick Chronicles. Remember Spiderwick Chronicles? Not really my era. I was a bit too old when Spiderwick Chronicles was a thing, but I know people who grew up on it. Like, that was a thing from their childhoods that they remember fondly. And I guess we're getting another one. Doesn't say by who. Who the fuck is Joey Bryant? If you watch the assembly cut on DVD Blu-ray, the equivalent of the director's cut, however, Fincher refused to be involved. It is a bull-like creature that they farm on the prison planet that is the first thing to be the host. The dog was part of the studio's considered recutting. Yeah, see, there you go. So you must have remembered a cut of the movie that was like the director's cut that maybe put the cow stuff back in. But the theatrical cut that was all butchered by the studio was the dog version. That's the one that most people remember. Yeah, there's lots of trivia from that movie. It's amazing. I mean, if you're someone who is a wannabe filmmaker and is interested in stuff like that, it kind of makes you sweat a little bit because it's such a nightmare scenario. But which version is better? Hard to say. Because I mean, even Fincher didn't want to be involved in anything related to Alien 3 after that. Didn't even give a fuck about the director's cut. He just wanted to wash his hands of the whole thing and moved on because it was like trauma for him. Some worst case scenario studio meddling bullshit. It's really sad. Anyway, let's see what Spiderwick Chronicles has got. Good luck, everybody.
This town is full of stories.
That's sad. I liked it. Well, that's the thing about audiences, though. You had the benefit of seeing it in a vacuum, I suppose. Like, whenever you saw the film in the context you saw it in, you were in a good position to take it for what it was and actually appreciate the good things about it. So that's a positive experience for you. If only more people could have experiences like that with film or art, where you can cut away all the bullshit, all the chaff, all the extra stuff, and just enjoy things on their own merits. I mean, it's not like it's anywhere near as good as the other Alien films. Like, it is a step down in a lot of objective ways as well, but I mean, it has a lot of baggage that, you know, if you're a fan of the franchise, or if you're involved in filmmaking, pop culture, and you just know this stuff, it's like, it's hard to divorce it from all that. But yeah, it's like, if you can force a mindset where you just take things as they are, you usually be a lot happier. Speed Racer is a good example. Speed Racer is a terrible film. I'd call it a failed experiment in trying to make a live action movie one for one exactly like how a child friendly anime would be made, like the original Speed Racer cartoon. I agree with the bad reviews about the movie, but I really enjoy it. Like, when I watch Speed Racer, I divorce myself from that stuff and I just watch the insanity on screen. And I just enjoy it the same way you enjoy, like, a piece of candy. Like, sucking on a lollipop. Like, it's just pure sugar and pure nonsense. But I can enjoy it on that level and, like, actually like the movie. Even though at the same time, if someone told me, like, nothing about this movie is good, it's basically like a 1 or a 2 out of 10, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Like, I agree. As someone who's into filmmaking and can look at things objectively and critically, you're not wrong about anything that you say about the movie that's bad. Like, you are correct. But I can also enjoy the movie immensely, despite all that stuff. And that's okay. Freddy Got Fingered, that Tom Green movie, is an awful movie. It barely counts as a film. And I've said this many, many times. It might be one of the worst movies ever made. But I find it really funny. And I can watch it and enjoy the absolute sheer stupidity and all the things about it that make it not make sense as a movie. It's just pure insanity. It's very stupid. Don't watch it because you'll hate me. But I can watch that movie in chunks and just enjoy the sheer absurdity of the fact that Tom Green had the balls to say, this is a movie, and actually let people watch it. It sort of revolted me because of the grittiness. It's one of the reasons you liked it. Brazen. Fincher is like that, though, as well. Like, that's why I think that movie suited him, that particular Alien. Because if you watch a lot of Fincher's movies, there is a grungy ickiness. There is a grittiness to his movies. Like, Seven is still a very uncomfortable movie to watch. There's everything about Seven, the color grading, the look of everything, the fact that It's like the nastiest, almost Gotham-like version of New York you've ever seen. It's always raining and everything's uncomfortable and cold and disgusting. And then these disgusting serial killings happen on top of that. And they're just the worst serial killings you've ever seen. You know, like just really disturbing. Like, what kind of psychopath thought of this shit? Who wrote this script? It's just, yeah, like Fincher is somehow good at just making things feel and look icky. Almost sounds like an insult, but it's not.
This town is full of stories.
Oh, look, it's Christian Slater. He's the Spiderwick dad.
Allow me to be your guide through the fantastical world around you.
Cool. I don't remember Spiderwick having such funky house mechanics. Do I not remember this correctly? I might be okay, wait.
Going through a hard time for.
I might be combining this movie in my brain with Bridge to Terabithia. That's kind of from the same era. And a very similar setup. Kinda? Except Bridge to Terabithia was much sadder. A lot of people cry when they watch that still to this day. Is that the mansion from The Frighteners? Oh, doubtful. But The Frighteners is amazing. I love that movie.
It's my fault we had a movie.
Good call. I have the Blu-ray.
Going through a hard time for a while now. And we both know it's not getting better.
Once we clean this house up, this will be great. And I know we can all use a fresh
Wait, this is an all-black cast again.
Lucinda
Is this
my
BET?
favorite person ever.
Is BET buying up the rights to a lot of classics and making all-black versions of them?
Secrets and surprises.
Where did they get all that money from? Click clack, what you back? Yeah, I don't remember bullshit about Spiderwick now. I'm just realizing.
My father cataloged each and every creature of the invisible world.
I just know that it was an all-white family
Pages
before.
are in hidden vaults all over Henson.
Same gate and external look.
Family is coming.
Whoa.
Arthur Spiderwick's field guide will soon be ours.
I'm sorry.
Grace family is
What just happened with Christian Slater's face?
The Grace family is coming.
Okay,
Arthur
that's nasty.
Spiderwick's field guide will soon be
That's some
ours.
Pan's Labyrinth shit right there.
Olgarat's a deceiver, a shapeshifter.
The world will be a
He
better
can
place for
camouflage as well.
Find
Is he the bad guy?
pages, put Spiderwick's field guide back together. You have to help save everyone. I'm just a kid. That's why you can succeed.
Spiderwick is such a video game. In fact, there is a video game of this on Xbox 360 and PS3.
We want something more.
We should play it on stream.
I want everything more.
That's okay. Christian does sound like the bad guy.
Can't trust
That was a bit sinister.
A reckoning is coming.
He's hamming it up a little bit, to be
You
honest.
must be ready for the coming fight.
Having someone believe in you is the most powerful form of magic there is.
Well, I'm so glad you came.
He seems charming one minute and then, like, mustache twirling evil the next. What's with the stones that reveal a hidden world? Coraline did that as well. It might be just a consistent, like a common fantasy trope that gets shared between lots of stories. I know in the case of Spiderwick, it's like a circular donut-shaped thing you look through, and then you can see like mystical creatures like unicorns and stuff. I just don't remember enough about Spiderwick Chronicles. The only thing I remember is that it was a white family. That's it. Racist. Hey, I'm just pointing out that it's a weird, it's an oddly consistent theme lately that we've watched a few trailers in a row now where all they've really done is remade the same movie but changed the entire family from white to black. But it made more sense when it was BET because that's what BET does. I think this one is just a coincidence. I mean, who made it? What, the conceit with the stones? I don't think it's the Frighteners mansion.
Well,
I think it's different enough. This one's a bit more fantastical and extravagant. The Frighteners mansion wasn't quite this fancy. But then again, I haven't watched Frighteners in a long time. I would like to go back and watch Frighteners again. That's a cool movie.
Allow me to be your guide through the fantastic
Spiderwick.
world around you.
Spiderwick. I mean, there are a lot of mansions like this in America, though. Like, this kind of shit's a dime a dozen around certain parts of the country. All they have to do is CGI a bunch of fake foliage on the sides, so they don't have to actually ruin the actual house that they pay someone rent to film in. But I can't imagine that would be... Doesn't ring... Like, I don't picture that as the Frighteners mansion in my head. But I could be wrong, because it's been a long time, to be fair. They even had the shot of them getting out the car. I mean, any wide shot of a large house that someone's arriving at will have a shot of people getting out the car and going up to it. Cinematography 101. Anybody else remember the Spiderwick Chronicles film from 2008? Yeah, bro, that's why we're here. It's a remake. It's the whole point. What a weird question. I should play the original Spiderwick Chronicles Xbox 360 game on stream, just for the hell of it. That'd be funny, actually. That'll jog my memory of what that damn movie was about. You won't accept it, they're copying it? They might be. I don't remember well enough to be able to say for sure. Sorry, I just got distracted for a second. I just saw Jeff Goldblum's face. Hang on. If I see Jeff Goldblum, I click. That's the rule. We are a Jeff Goldblum positivity household. Here it is. Mr. Jeff. Chaos. First look at Jeff Goldblum as Zeus. Oh my god. Jeff Goldblum playing Zeus, king of the gods. Powerful, cruel, benevolent. So the maker of End of the Fucking World on Netflix and the producers of Chernobyl are making a Greek god movie where Jeff Goldblum is playing Zeus. This is okay. That's awesome. I'm down. I'm on board. That's all you had to say. Jeff Goldblum is a national treasure.
This bitter earth.
Oh, so it's like a modern take.
Today is a holy day.
I guess.
What good am I?
Like, where would the Greek gods be hiding in the modern world, maybe? Like, of course, Zeus would be living in a mansion with a gold Rolex.
You're the king of the gods.
King of the gods.
Fuck the gods. Heaven only knows.
Honor me.
The statue.
That's a command, not a request.
Hey, he's looking kind of intense in this. Usually we get funny, quirky Jeff Goldblum. This is a very serious Jeff Goldblum. Am I going to be okay with that? Because I really enjoy goofy Jeff Goldblum. If he's acting too serious and sinister and like narcissistic, all-powerful Zeus, I don't know if that'll... I want my goofy Jeff. I want all that Jeff charm. People in the comments are like, I need that Jeff Goldblum Zeus statue immediately. Yeah, that would look great on a shelf. As a collectible item. Hell yeah. I agree. 100%. Jeff Goldblum has 7 lines in the trailer and I'm already sold. I was sold before he even said 1 line. Just Jeff Goldblum is Zeus. That's all I needed from the synopsis. I was sold at that point. Does look similar. I'm sure of it. Oh, you found a photo, did you? I mean, that's not the same house, but... This is what I'm saying, is that this kind of shit is all over America. It must be so easy for movie studios to get cool houses for fantasy films. Looks like cardboard. Yeah, they might have built a facade. Like, this might be a lot, and they might have just basically built the facade of the house up front. And then when you're inside, you're just on a studio set. They used to do that a lot. I mean, they still do that, but... not as frequently as they did back in the day. In fact, sometimes they would film on actual interiors, but in a different house. That was more common. They'd film the outside of a house that had the look they wanted, and then they'd film inside a different house, pretending it's the same house, that had the look of the interior they wanted. They just do half and half. That's probably the most common thing that filmmakers have always done. And then they started becoming more studio. Like, they'd make the whole interior in a studio as a set. That became the more prevalent thing after a while. You know certain film tricks? Oh yeah, there's plenty. There's plenty movie magic tricks. Some of them are very obvious. Anyway, it's unfortunate we didn't get more from this chaos thing. From the looks of it, all we know for sure is it's modern times and the Greek gods are still hiding amongst man as rich and powerful Jeff Bezos-like figures, which makes perfect sense. It reminds me of that TV show on Amazon Prime, American Gods. That's based on the graphic novel. It's kind of the same concept as that. Except that has a lot of new gods, like the god of the internet, for example. That's kind of what that graphic novel was about. The old gods going to battle with the new gods, because gods live and die based on what mankind believes in. Like, you're only as powerful as how many humans believe in you and worship you. So some of the old gods are dying off, as there's almost nobody left that actually believes that they were ever real. They're just like myths, like Zeus or whatever. But in the new modern times, people worship new types of things. So people are obsessed with the internet, so you could call that a form of worship. So now there's a new god based on the internet. There's like literally an internet god who's like this waifish Asian girl with pigtails and like all these like buttons and a cute skirt, and she's all wacky and shit. There's like a god of capitalism who's like the most powerful one, who's been growing for like decades. Which, you know, is kind of obvious, I guess. There's a couple of clever ones like that. It's an interesting story. I've never read the graphic novels, but I did watch the first season of the Amazon TV show. And I was keen to see more, but I never did. By the time season 2 came out, I didn't even have Amazon Prime anymore. Anyway. I can't wait for a proper trailer to Chaos. I want to see more about what the other gods are like, and what the hell Jeff Goldblum's up to, and if he's going to be the bad guy. Zeus does make a good bad guy. Because he's not a good or a bad guy. That's the thing about Zeus. He's just kind of a dick. So you could have him as a benevolent, good figure easily in a story, but you could just as easily have him as a piece of shit, who's actually the villain. So many of the demigods exist because he basically took advantage of humans sexually. Like Hercules. Fucking Zeus constantly turning into fake humans or just animal hybrids and going down to Earth to like shag everything. That's Zeus in a nutshell. The creeper. I don't want that version of Jeff Goldblum. Oh, here we go. This is good. This is good. This is actually something I want. I mentioned this the last time. This is teaser trailer 2. I watched teaser trailer 1 maybe 2 weeks ago for this movie, Kinds of Kindness. It doesn't roll off the tongue. This is a Yorgos Lanthimos film, and I'm a big fan of his. He's like one of my top 5 favorite directors. He's the one who directed that movie, Poor Things, with Emma Stone, that just was nominated for Oscars recently. The Lobster, The Favorite, Dogtooth. I love his movies. I love his dry sense of humor. He's already got another movie coming out right after Poor Things, also with Emma Stone in it. I know I said all the same shit when I watched the first teaser probably, but I'm very keen to see more of what this is, because I'm kind of shocked that he has 2 movies coming out so close together. This man's been working. Also, he seems to be obsessed with Emma Stone, because she's now the lead in 2 of his movies in a row. She's become his, like what Uma Thurman is to Tarantino, for example. Or Leonardo DiCaprio is to Martin Scorsese. Okay, that was weird. there a guy in a wheelchair just while she's getting down? Oh my god, all the same cast from Poor Things is in this movie. That was it? Okay, whatever. I'm still down. I don't care. This man has all my faith. He's never made a bad movie. I think that teaser was basically just to remind you of who's in this film. It's just like, look at all these actors. Done. That was nothingness. I mean, yeah, that's a teaser for you. Teasers aren't trailers. Trailers tell you about the movie. They let you know what the plot is. Teasers give off a vibe. That's really all a teaser needs to do. And I guess that's what they was trying to do, while reminding you of all the big name actors that are going to be in the movie. See, Emma Stone, Willem Dafoe, and Margaret Qualley were all in Poor Things, his last movie. So I guess he's just brought over half the cast. Jesse Plemons, I'm excited to see in one of his movies. I love Jesse Plemons. Now he gets to be in a movie by one of my favorite directors. That was just... No, that wasn't twerking. That wasn't twerking. That was just bad dancing. I think that was the joke. I think Emma Stone's supposed to be looking after some paraplegic in a wheelchair, and she's just fucking ignoring them and dancing like an idiot. You know, that's actually one thing I've noticed about Yorgos movies. There's always at least one scene in the movie where someone dances badly in a very stupid, confusing way. Like The Favourite, which is a movie that takes place in like 1800s England, about some of the female entourages of the Queen. And there's a scene in that during a ball where they dance in a way to old-timey ball music that is very anachronistic to the time period. Like, it's bizarre. It doesn't even make sense. But I think that's the joke. Yorgos can have a weird sense of humor sometimes. Like, sometimes his sense of humor seems to be, this doesn't make sense, and he finds it funny. But the rest of his humor is mostly just very black, very dry humor, where half the audience doesn't even realize there's meant to be a joke happening. Like, they don't even know it's meant to be funny. And the other half of the audience is cracking themselves laughing because of how dry it is. That's what The Lobster was for me. I was in tears laughing at a lot of scenes in The Lobster, and I was almost the only one laughing in the cinema that I was in. I saw it at an indie theater in Canberra. And the amount of people in that theater that watched that movie just completely stone-faced. Not a single smile on their face. They didn't understand what was meant to be funny about the movie at all. And maybe me and two other people were like crying laughing. It's one of those movies that's divisive, the tone. You either get his sense of humor or you don't. And that's fine. Not everyone likes dry humor. Some people like punchline humor. Like, oh, I hope I don't bump my head on a pole, and then they bump their head on a pole and everyone laughs. And, you know, there's a laugh track and everyone applauds. I'm not as into that sense of humor. I prefer it when things are kind of weird or very dry and played straight. And that's what makes it funny. Punchline humor is too obvious. Because you know what the joke is from the setup. So when the actual punchline happens, it's like, yeah, I know. That's the joke. You made that obvious with your setup. Now I don't give a shit. I don't have the time to laugh. There's no laugh track. How do I know how to be normal? I hate laugh tracks. I know movies have never had laugh tracks, but I can't stand TV shows with laugh tracks. It confuses me. I can't wait for this movie. I don't know what this is. Hang on, let me just pull something over that confuses me a bit. What is this? Studio Canal is an indie production company. So I've never heard of this, though. Man is the Deadliest Predator, from acclaimed directors of RKSS. Watch the trailer for Wake Up. Official selection at Fantastic Fest. Okay, so it's a film festival movie, but not the classy film festivals, the trashy indie film festivals, where all the weird stuff goes. And it's from a French-Canadian director. This could be weird. I don't know what I've just clicked on. A group of activists set out to make an environmental statement by vandalizing a superstore as it closes. a mall, basically. The plan goes wrong when they become trapped inside the mall and face a deranged security guard with gruesome passion for hunting. Oh my god, okay. So activists get stuck in a mall at night and get hunted by a crazy security guard. Got it. Even live audience laughter. I mean, that's the same thing, essentially. It is basically just telling you when to laugh. It's really stupid.
Wake up, people! This store is tainted with the blood of thousands of animals from the Amazon.
Oh, those kind of activists. Okay, I don't feel bad for them anymore. This is actually kind of a similar setup to Abigail. The main characters that are going to get picked off by the killer are actually kind of bad guys.
Started, yeah?
No more animal massacres.
They've got paintball guns.
No more
That's not going to help.
deforestation.
Wait till this goes viral. It's gonna be everywhere. The more damage, the better.
Some kid got inside.
Oh, there he is.
Deal with this quietly.
Hell yeah. It's like a redneck security guard. I'm gonna hunt these activists like deer. Oh. It's just a dude. Oh, she killed one of them by accident.
What did you do?
And the second one's gonna lose his fucking mind. Awesome. Okay.
There's no service.
They put a little bit more thought into the setup than I was given credit for.
He locked us in.
They actually gave the
He's setting a trap.
They actually gave the security guard killer a good reason to be doing what he's doing. He's not just crazy. He thinks he's defending himself against them because they killed the other security guard by accident. I like that. I like there being more context for why both sides are doing what they're doing. It's not just one person's a psycho.
We are all animals. And you're in my hunting ground.
He definitely goes a little nuts. What the fuck? It's actually pretty clever. Cover them in like Dayglow paint so you can hide in the dark, but you can always see them. Still looks kind of cheap, but there's elements of the script there and the setup that I'm kind of impressed by. You have hiccups. I did hiccup twice and then it stopped. Did you notice that? I only got 2 in and then it just stopped. I don't know why. I don't know how that works. Why would there be no service? I don't know. That's kind of a weird. That's kind of a modern horror movie cliche or trope. They always have to find a reason for why you can't just get help via cell phone. Otherwise, like so many old movies before cell phones existed would not have happened if people just had cell phones. Like I don't know if you've ever watched some old thrillers or old horror movies that took place before cell phones and realized that like if this happened now, the storyline wouldn't even happen. It was so much easier to write a film back then because it was easy to isolate people. Not so much anymore. You have to actually like bend over backwards to come up with a reason. Okay, well, that was okay. I try not to click on things that I'm completely unsure of because sometimes we get really terrible shit. Blinked. Oh, someone sent me this. Hang on. You hate phones? Well, they're a part of life now. You can't actually escape them. They will be and will forever be inseparable from human beings. Just got to live with it. Okay, hang on a sec. Someone actually sent me this on Facebook a couple of days ago, but I didn't go around to watching it. It's a Channing Tatum Christian Slater movie called Blink Twice, and it's a suspense horror drama. And I think the person who sent it to me said something about how it's one of the few Channing Tatum movies that they've seen coming out where he's not playing a comedic character. It actually looks serious, which is fair. The first comment says, it's kind of like Get Out meets Knives Out 2 with a touch of Midsommar. Those three things are nothing like each other. What the fuck? All right. Put that in the marketing. Come on, dish it up.
So, everybody's dead. How about we start at the beginning?
Okay, here we go. Jess, Frida, this is my childhood buddy, Cody. Vic, my left and right hand man.
Perfect.
Tom.
I can see why they said Knives Out.
Who did this? This is Frida, Sarah, Frida.
The whole ensemble thing they're doing.
Thank you.
This is our resident wonder boy, Heather, Camilla. Hey, what's up, man? I don't know who that is.
We're going to my island for a few days.
Oh wow, this is like Knives Out 2.
This is crazy.
A bunch of name actor rich people go to an island, and I guess something's gonna happen to them all.
Strangers? Oh, he's not a stranger. He's Slater King.
Everybody say,
Directed by Zoe Kravitz.
You having a good time?
We're having a great time. We're
Oh shit.
champagne, and we're eating amazing food. So do you think the human sacrifice is before or after dinner?
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Legendary parties of Slater King. Not what I thought it was.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
We still have fun. It's just a little different now.
What do you mean?
Is it a cult?
Wait, for real?
You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
I'm having a great time here. But I also have this feeling that
Are they having a key party where you swap wives?
I'm not.
Where's my knife?
Where's this
my
going?
knife?
Oh, dude, your eye.
What? Oh, no, I know, right?
There's something weird going on here.
Everybody's smiling and laughing like 1960s flight attendants. Like, I'm having a good time.
What the
I'm
fuck's
like, I'm having
happening?
a great time. Can't you feel it? There's something wrong with this place.
This is trippy, man. I'm also starting to see why they said Midsommar in the comments.
Yes. My friend, that was in the room next to mine. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
This is more psychological than I was expecting it to be.
Like we're forgetting like a lot of stuff.
Okay, but like, how?
It's probably the drugs.
Something's making us forget.
Uh-oh.
Channing Tatum is kind of scary in this, not gonna lie. He's still charming, but he's kind of creepy without even trying.
Please, Wise, I'm in danger.
Well, maybe not. Let's not answer that one, right?
Pretty good cast. Zoe Kravitz is now writing and directing movies. I wasn't expecting that. I wonder if she was always wanting to be a writer-director and just had to do acting for a while before she could, you know, get into the creation stuff. Hey, what's up? What's happening? You found the weirdest crossover in history? Oh, you sent it. I'll check it out in a second. No Rule 34 during Sunday streams. No Rule 34 ever, or we'll get banned. Twitch hates that shit. Took you 30 seconds to realize what you meant. I'm actually pretty intrigued by that. I like the fact that it's impossible to know what's going on in the trailer. It looks like people are disappearing from his resort, but the people who are left over are not remembering that they even existed. So there's some kind of trippy psychological drug-fueled thing going on. Probably culty. I'm going to go with culty. Rich people cults, man. In fact, someone in the comments just wrote, "Rich people are bad, brought to you by rich people who are bad at writing." It really is, like, there's a whole subgenre of rich people are using all their money to do crazy shit. Like hunt poor people or have crazy cult serial killer orgies or whatever. You gonna see the new Joker film? Yeah, of course. Musicals are my favorite genre, and I did like the first Joker, so they've just combined two things I like into one. They're still making those. They can't write. Still making what? Rich people thrillers, where rich people are evil and use their money to do crazy shit. To be fair, Knives Out 2 is one of those, and it's pretty much this movie, but it was actually really good. So that genre can still hit if you're clever enough. I don't know what this movie's going to turn out to be like, but the setup is intriguing. Like, it makes for a good trailer, because I do want to know what's happening now, enough to actually watch the movie. So the trailer's done its job. But Zoe Kravitz. I was not expecting Zoe Kravitz to be the writer-director. You know, Lenny Kravitz, the guitarist's daughter? She's been in a bunch of movies. She's in Mad Max, Divergent. She's in The Batman as Catwoman, alongside Robert Pattinson's Batman. What else did she do? Hang on a sec. She's done more than that. If you told young me that the daughter of Lenny Kravitz, because I knew all about him when I was younger because he's a good guitarist. If you told me when I was younger that his daughter would go on to be like a pretty decent actor in some pretty big budget movies, and then also go on to be a writer-director herself, I would have been like, you're crazy, man. Yeah, The Batman was her last one. She played Catwoman. She's a voice of Mary Jane in Into the Spider-Verse. She was in Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, but I never saw that. I did see Kin, but I don't remember what she was in that. She's the voice of Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie, which I didn't know. Interesting crossover. Obviously not the same Catwoman. Her character in Mad Max Fury Road is called Toast to the Knowing. Awesome. I don't remember who she was in Insurgent, but I didn't really give a shit about those movies when I saw them. I was just watching them because I saw every movie that came out back then. When she was younger, she was in X-Men First Class and After Earth. First Class was good. After Earth was terrible. Okay, good for her. What else is she making? Anything else? Nope. Looks like this is going to be her first writing directing thing. Although she was also a writer on the High Fidelity TV adaptation, which I'm guessing is the remake of High Fidelity with John Cusack. Maybe. Okay. I'm done. I just wanted to figure all that out really quickly. You saw The Batman with your ex-best friend. The movie's ruined for me despite it being a good movie. Oh, that does happen. It's kind of like, for example, when a girlfriend breaks up with you, it tends to taint the last movie you saw together. Like, for example, if you go see The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger or something, and then later that night, after the movie, during dinner, she breaks up with you. It's like, from then on, every time you see The Dark Knight or think about The Dark Knight, it just brings up, you know, painful memories. Oh yeah, The Thing. Boop. Da 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 da. Dixie, the official anthem of the American South in French. Oh, there is a French connection here. Captions. Ja, ja, ja. Musica de Russis. Why is the captions in not English? No, it's in Spanish. God damn it. The captions are all in Spanish. Oh, this song. The Dixieland song. Now I know what this is. I remember singing this in, like, middle school assembly. Why did he make a warning in the comments about he's not doing this to be political. What about this is meant to be political? Is it because it's like Deep South redneck music combined with a French song? New alternate timeline where Napoleon invades the South. French Southerners be like. There's a lot of history buffs making deep cut jokes in the comments. It's thought to be a Confederacy anthem. Oh, that's probably why he did the political warning. Because nobody likes the Confederacy. Fucking slavery land. Cute. You have zero response to this. Not Elizabeth might be French, but it's not her type of music. Elizabeth listens to Lana Del Rey in the rain with her mascara running down her cheeks. Sometimes she screams into the void, and it screams back. You got another one. Oh, Jib Jab. I remember Jib Jab. I used to, I remember when everyone used to make, use the Jib Jab app to make little animations of them and their friends with your heads, like, on the Jib Jab characters. And then they added a subscription model and everyone stopped doing it because no one could be fucked giving them money to do it. I didn't know Jib Jab was still around.
43 was pushed out the door, and 44's a bit darker than before.
Hey, Obama. I miss Obama. Oh, wait. This is 14 years ago. This is a 14-year-old video, so maybe Jib Jab isn't around anymore. This is just old.
There was Crowley and Gates, and don't forget John and Kate. Well, there was never a year like '09. Yes, there were packed town halls and finger-biting balls. There's gonna be a public option. Wait, it's out. Oh, wait, it's in. All Governor Palin quit. Bill Clinton
Fucking Sarah Palin.
While the swine flu wrapped around the globe. Yes, there were late
14 years ago, it makes sense why all the references are Obama and Bush. And Palin.
There wasn't a Huckle bomb. 209 wasting so long. Olympic bids were spurned, and Michael Vick's returned.
Michael Vick's returned.
Joe Wilson yelled, "You lie!"
In case you didn't know, Elizabeth, just for context, Michael Vick was an American football player that got in trouble because he was hosting dogfighting games for rich people to go and gamble on, which is animal cruelty and very illegal. So everyone hated him after that.
Balloon boy soared so high. I run a burnt-out bank from Golden State. We spent the kitchen sink to pull back from the brink. We learned that Kerry puts on quite a solo
Whoa.
show. Was he hiking trails or chasing hot, sexy tail? Where did Governor Sanford go? There was change.
I love it how it's like, it's a jaunty political song, but it's a 14-year outdated political song.
And a surprise Nobel Award. For what nobody was really quite sure.
Three Wolf Moon. That's an old meme. Cool. That took a lot of effort. Someone had to puppeteer all these Jib Jab characters. That's exhausting, man. What an exhausting editing job. Wishing you a 2010 full of laughs. Wow, that goes way back. I was still in Canberra when this was made. Probably in school. Probably in uni. Can't remember my timeline, though. I gotta figure that out. What's this? Is this Jib Jab again? Dylan White. We didn't start the fire 1992. What? As in the song? Oh, it's like a karaoke version? It sounds like a karaoke version. Copyright okay.
Noriega, Panama, USSR starts to fall. Pee Wee Herman, Clarence Thomas, and Anita Hill. LA riots, cholera, oil spill by Exxon, Waco, Texas River.
This only got an age restriction flag at the start because the algorithm picked him up saying a bunch of keywords from a bunch of like from a bunch of edgy topics, I think.
Oklahoma City, Mir, Windows 95 is here. Unabomber, Pokemon.
How old?
Are you dead? Tupac is gone.
2020. Not that old.
To the people's princess die.
This is like kind of old school YouTube vibes though. This is what everything on YouTube used to be like back in the day. People making content like this.
Steroids used by Mark McGuire. Michael Jordan does retire. Monica, Bill Cigar, and the blue dress. JFK Jr., Columbine, Kashmir. People say Y2K will be a big mess. Eliana's handled bad, counting all the hanging chads. 9/11, Taliban, Al Qaeda, Afghanistan, black holes, anthrax. Daniel.
She's doing a good job of making all this rhyme. I can see his ring light in his sunglasses. Oh yeah, John Ritter died. I always forget about that. I still remember watching him in Three's Company when I was like a child. Which is a whole sitcom based on the fact that he lived with two chicks. And there was always a will there or won't they kind of like ongoing gag. George Carlin died of a heart attack. I knew he was dead, but I didn't know it was a heart attack. Michael Jackson died because of medication. It's amazing how fragile life can be. 1 minute someone looks fine, then they have a heart attack. 1 minute someone seems okay, and then a combination of 2 or 3 medications at once just gone. All they wanted to do was sleep well that night. And they shouldn't have put 2 pills together or had 1 pill with alcohol. They were just trying to make themselves drowsy and they just never woke up again. Very easy to shuffle off this mortal coil. Easier than most people would want to believe. I feel like as human beings we're very much in denial by how easily we can die from so many things. We all have this thing in our head that says, you know, not me. You see it happening to other people, but you're always like, not me. He didn't redeem his shaling. Yeah, no, he skipped it twice, actually, I think. Oh, no, just once. But he's on his way out anyway. What's Up was like, last one for the road. You know what I like about What's Up's name, his handle? Is that I can just say What's Up when he appears. And it's like I'm saying hello and also saying his name at the same time. Redeem it, bitch. Here, I'll give him an air horn. I'll blast that in his ear. That's his punishment. Or should I V-mode him? Hang on. What V-mode can I use on What's Up? Here's one for you, What's Up?
Fuck you! You suck!
That's a good one. I don't think anyone's used that one yet. I was the first. I also could have used this one, hang on. Also could have used this one.
Disappointed!
Kevin Sorbo's Very heavily right-wing person nowadays, by the way. He says a lot of cringy things on Twitter. They're quite hilarious to keep up with. I have a few friends that will often screenshot things that he's saying and send them to me just to laugh. Crazy man. You want a standard bruh V-mode? What would be the closest to a bruh V-mode that I've got now? How about this one?
You can put the cheese in your bum.
That one's for you, Elizabeth. I actually only added that V mode as a joke for me, because there's no actual situation where that makes sense to use that. I don't think. I can't think of one, but I just really wanted to add it. That's from... I'm just joking. I didn't actually think that was the closest to bruh. That is actually a scene from the movie I mentioned before, Freddy Got Fingered, the Tom Green movie that I said was very stupid and not a good movie, but I enjoy it. It's so terrible. I'm going to write that down, though. I'm going to write down bruh in my notes, and I'm going to see if I can find a V-mode that encapsulates that vibe. I do like thinking of new ideas for V-modes. I've got another 3 or 4 on a list somewhere that I want to look into. So I'm going to add that, and I might end up finding 5 new ones. Hopefully. We shall see. We didn't start the fire. I got it stuck in my head now. Ooh. Hang on a second. This is interesting. Hang on. Hang on. You should add it's Wednesday, my dudes. Oh, that is not a bad idea, actually. Let me copy paste that into my notes that I got my notepad open on the other screen. What was I saying? Oh. Oh, this looks like a Korean martial arts film. The reason this caught my eye is because I saw Don Lee in the thumbnail. Who is, what's his name in Eternals, the Marvel movie. I think this is a actual traditional Korean martial arts film starring him. I bet back in Korea, after he was in the Marvel movie, they were like, we need to make movies of this guy now, because he's internationally famous. We're able to sell a lot more tickets. What was his name in Eternals? Okay, other people in the comments are mentioning Eternals as well. They're not mentioning his name, though. I can't remember his character name. Don Lee. I didn't know he was like a martial artist, though, to like headline his own action movie. The first 3 movies are amazing. Can't wait for this one. This is the 4th movie in a series? Do you stream Wednesdays? Oh, sometimes. The schedule does tend to shift depending on what's going on with life and work. I try to leave days off between. So, for example, if I stream Tuesday, if I have to do 3 gaming streams and 1 Sunday stream, then I might stream Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. If work is going to fuck up one of those, then I will shift them so they do something like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if that makes sense. But I try to do that 1 day on, 1 day off thing with 3 different streams for gaming. So I try to shift them between the 2 different patterns of 3. And obviously sometimes I have to change it up completely. Like if I get stuck playing an RPG that I have to finish in a certain amount of time, I might have to like do extra streams. So you might see me like doing 4 or 5 streams that week. So it does change frequently depending on what I need to get done gaming wise and what's going on with my real life work and how it's fucking with my stream time. But I'll always figure it out ahead of time as much as possible and update the timetable on Twitch on the schedule tab. I try to keep that updated as much as possible. As soon as I know anything. Anyway, I didn't know Don Lee was a martial arts staple. I just knew him from Eternals. But apparently this is part 4 in a series of action movies. So this has been happening for a while. I just had no idea it existed. It's called The Roundup Punishment. So the other movies must be called The Roundup, semicolon, something else. They probably all got like mini names like that. Is there a way you can make it only available on Wednesdays? Only if you do it manually. From the dashboard, I can turn different claimable things on and off with a switch. So I have to remember to turn it on Wednesdays if I want to do that. There's no way to automate it though. I do that with the share a link function. I only turn on share a link channel point redeem on Sundays. As soon as the stream's done tonight, I'm going to click that off again so it's not available during the week. Because when I'm doing a gaming stream, I don't want people sending me links because I'm not going to stop the game to go watch YouTube. Like, we're staying on the game. And I don't want to encourage it by having the link sharing thing available. I haven't watched a martial arts flick in ages. I just realized. Maybe The Raid. Or The Raid 2.
디지털 범죄는 보이는 걸 쫓아가면 안 돼. 그러자.
Oh my god, you have to read the subtitles very quickly. Holy shit.
이 뭐야, 밥 시킨 건가?
Holy shit. Did you see the force behind that punch? When he punched the guy into the ground? This man absolutely flattened that dude. Jesus. Watch this. That.
이 뭐야, 밥 시킨 건가?
Fuck me dead.
필리핀 시내에서 사망한 지 발견됐대요.
Is this what he's known for? I think he might be one of those martial artists that's known for like power. Like he's not like Jet Li or Tony Jaa. That's like a technical martial artist. Like he probably plays characters in action movies that are just powerhouses that fucking just hulk up and punch people through walls.
밀어. 야, 이게 뭐야? 전기 두려움을 느끼고 세포 자체가 없네.
황제 카지노 관련돼 있는 게 맞는 것 같아.
I'm actually not paying attention at all to the plot. I haven't been reading the subtitles. I just want to see this man punch somebody. Because every time he does, they die. That seems to be his whole MO. He's just throwing like mega hooks.
무조건 찾아야 돼. 발라줄게. 내가 책임지고 다 잡는다고.
Oh yeah, he's just going full boxer on everybody. No leg work at all. That was a very Asian trailer. They have a particular style with how they make trailers and promotional stuff. The first comment, when you put all your stats into unarmed strength. Yeah, someone spec'd their Fallout character with nothing but strength. They put it all into strength and endurance. Gilgamesh, that was his name in Eternals. So this is an ongoing franchise. This is 4 movies in. I wonder if you have to watch the other 3 to understand what the hell's going on. I have a feeling no. Action movies like this are usually just excuses to have people punch on. That's about it. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you make the punching on stylish and eye-catching. You want it to be clever choreography, a feast for the eyes, something you've never seen before. It's a spectacle, man. I just realized that made it look like I've got Tourette's for a second there when I made that pop sound with my lips. That's a very typical Tourette's thing to do. When you can't help but like make sound effects with your mouth like that. Probably shouldn't make people think I've got Tourette's. Ooh. Interesting. There's a bunch of Korean and Japanese clips coming up right now because I watched that. But there's one that caught my eye. I don't care about the rest of them. There's a teaser and a trailer for City Hunter on Netflix. The teaser was 1 month ago. The trailer was 2 weeks ago. It's catching my eye because I know what City Hunter is. City Hunter was an anime, a very old anime, that got made into a 90s Japanese action movie starring Jackie Chan a long time ago. And I remember it because it was very weird. Like, there's a scene in Jackie Chan City Hunter where he's fighting this guy in an arcade, and they both accidentally get electrocuted by an arcade machine that happens to have Street Fighter on it, and it turns Jackie Chan into Chun-Li and the bad guy into Guile with the full mohawk, and then it turns into a Street Fighter fight from then on with them doing all the special moves and stuff. Like, that's how weird that movie was. So I think Netflix is doing probably a more accurate anime adaptation, because that's what they've been all about lately. I'm curious if... because I don't really know anything about the anime. I mostly just know the Jackie Chan movie, the fucking weird movie. Unflappable, excitable, silly, and cool, this notorious protagonist descends upon modern-day Shinjuku, Tokyo. The origin story of City Hunter begins now. So it's an origin story about the anime character. I think he's like... he's one of those cops, urban hero cops that doesn't do things by the rules. I mean, that's a trope. But I think one of his characters, like, main personality traits is a bit of a hornbag. Like, I've seen clips from the anime which are just making fun of the fact that he's always, like, getting those nosebleeds from, like, hot femme fatales that he meets along while he's going trying to solve cases. I wonder if they'll keep that for the live action. I'm gonna watch both the teaser and the trailer, see what how different they are. Yeah, see, he's already a creep. Maybe too much of a creep because it's an old manga. It goes back to like the 70s or 80s when things are maybe a little bit more lecherous without being creepy. A little bit more cancelable nowadays. But it looks like they're leaning into it, so cool.
I can do it.
Cool. They're really leaning into the anime style. Whenever they do male characters this in anime or Japanese TV shows or movies, there always has to be like a really cool straight woman. I wanted to say straight man, but female straight man. Let's put it that way. It's so anime. Oh my god. See, this is always a crapshoot. There's always a 50-50. Whenever you lean hard into the anime-ness of stuff, it either turns out to be amazing or it completely tanks. Like, the Cowboy Bebop show tanked, but the One Piece show succeeded. And they both kind of try to lean into their anime-ness, but to very different results. So I don't really know what the solution is there. It's kind of a crapshoot. I guess it depends on how you lean into it. Like, what are the things that you really focus on? Because it can't be one-for-one perfect. So what do you highlight from the anime and lean into, and what don't you? And what do you allow to change as part of your adaptation? That's the challenge. What was that? Wait, I saw something trippy. Supercell official teaser. Oh, wait, don't get distracted. City Hunter, full trailer. I'll come back to the other one later. Only like less than a minute longer. Cool. I kind of like that it's keeping it light. It's not taking itself too seriously. I think that's gonna be in its favor. So he's trying to solve a war on drugs, but the drugs makes people super strong. Cute. It is a very anime police plot. They want to make wild action sequences out of the fact that the people on the drug are going to be like super strengthed. Is that meant to be City Hunter's whole thing? He's just really good with guns. I wasn't aware of that. You wouldn't get that from the Jackie Chan movie. And I did get to play as him in a fighting game once that combined a lot of different anime characters into one universe. I think it was Jump. What was that Jump game? Jump Heroes? Jump Fest? And that was mostly hand-to-hand fighting. He's like the Punisher if the Punisher was a pervert, but also without the over-the-top violence and gore. So maybe not like the Punisher at all. I don't even know why I took it there. Oh, that's interesting. That does look a lot more accurate to what I know of the anime, as much as it can be. I don't know what went down with that. I don't know what went down with that that Jackie Chan movie though. I feel like they just took the name and then did whatever they wanted. Like they probably would have made that movie regardless, no matter what the movie was called, and they just happened to attach the name brand recognition of City Hunter. Don't think they actually gave a shit. And I don't know if that movie's bad or good. I remember watching it and being like being tripped out by how surreal and weird it was, but I don't know if it was meant to be good or not, or if it's just so strange that it makes it for an interesting, never boring watch. Whatever. I want to watch, you know, City Hunter's all well and good, but Netflix has got more crazy shit. Like Supercell, whatever this is. Find Them Before It's Too Late. New series created by Rap Man. Is Rap Man a superhero that drops fat beats? And now he's directing movies for Netflix? TV shows? What the hell is this? Rap Man is someone we want to gatekeep for ourselves. Someone, who the fuck is Rap Man? Created by Rap... Okay, I need to find out who Rap Man is, because people are talking about him in the comments. Oh, he's a hip-hop artist. Andrew Unwobalu, known by his stage name Rap Man. British rapper, record producer, screenwriting... film. Okay. He's a British rapper that moved into producing, screenwriting, and film directing. I did not know. What's he known for? Probably just unknown British stuff that I've never heard of. Like short films and things. Yeah. Blue Story, Shiro Story, American Son, Crept and Conan. I've never heard of any of this. So he's like Britain's best kept secret. He definitely has fans, judging by the comments in this YouTube video. And now he gets to make something for Netflix. I guess this is a breakout writing, directing debut. Outside of the UK, at least. Gotta run. Take care. Oh, you're heading off? Oh, you're dropping a Minx Biscoff? Yeah, sure. Haven't had one of these in a while. Not since the last Minx appearance. Oh, what the hell? When did that happen? I must have bumped the mic while I was reaching for the Biscoff or something. Sorry about that. When did I do that? I'm gonna find out when I did that. Hang on. I'm curious now. Where's me? It was just when I took the Biscoff. I didn't even feel myself touch the microphone. That's crazy. It was just when I took the Biscoff. I didn't even feel look, there's me. There's me talking. That's crazy. Shut up, Sean. It was just when I took the bisc off. I didn't even feel look, can you mute me, please? There we go. Videos. Here's the one in progress. It's so anime. So anime. Like Britain's best. Haven't had one of these in a while. I want to catch the exact moment I do it. Oh, that was it. Not since the last Minx appearance. There. I saw the mic move slightly. Got it. Caught me. I caught me. Oh, look, it's Ratman. Now I learned who Ratman is today. Let's see his movie.
Excuse me, beautiful.
Whose car is this?
Yours.
Babe, this is so nice.
Wow, they have such Brit accents.
It feels like perfect time, you know. We've got a house, we've just got a car.
I'm used to his kind of accent, but I'm not used to hers.
Yeah? Yeah?
I never thought about my future and not seeing you in it.
Whoa, what the fuck? Michael! Created by Ratman. What an awesome name.
You die. You can save her.
Hey, what's happening?
You need all four. One dies, she dies.
I don't really understand his superpower.
Find them before it's too late.
Wait, so his eyes turn yellow and then he teleports through time? Okay, maybe. I think you get funky eyes in teleportation. Cool. Looks good, which means Netflix will put out one season, then cancel it. Oh, people are hard on Netflix lately, but they do seem to just like up and cancel shit for no reason. I mean, I know they have their reasons internally, but to the general public, it often looks like no reason because they don't normally explain themselves. They just do stuff. Looks okay. I know nothing about Ratman, so I'm not sure what his general quality of filmmaking is like. Seems like he makes a bunch of short films. But if this goes well for him, that's his ticket to the big time. Because, you know, this is a Netflix project and everything else is just like homegrown UK stuff that no one's ever heard of across the pond. Good luck to Ratman. You were one E off that name being very problematic. Okay. Oh, okay. I was gonna just pause for a second. I was gonna finally get across to the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, which I've been hanging on to. But I'm kind of intrigued by this real quick. Unfrosted. This had Jerry Seinfeld in the thumbnail. Oh, wait, hang on. Jerry Seinfeld in his directorial debut. Michigan, 1963. Kellogg's and Post, sworn cereal rivals, race to create a pastry that will change the face of breakfast. A tale of ambition, betrayal, sugar, and menacing milkmen. Unfrosted stars Jerry Seinfeld. So it's got him as the lead character and he's directing it. A Pop-Tart comic. Oh, I get it. It's the origin story of Pop-Tarts in the 1960s. Why did Jerry Seinfeld decide that his directorial debut is going to be a movie about the origins of the Pop-Tart? That's very specific. It's very strange. This entire movie is just Jerry making a "what's the deal with Pop-Tarts" joke. This is strange. I'm less fascinated about the origin of Pop-Tarts, which I do love. Pop-Tarts are amazing. I'm more fascinated by the directorial debut of Jerry Seinfeld. Like, what is a movie like that was directed by Jerry? That's what has me intrigued the most.
Ground control, we are go for launch. T-minus 3.
This is gonna make me hungry for Pop-Tarts, isn't it?
1. Lift off. Lift off.
I believe we have split the atom of breakfast.
Oh, so Jerry
In the early
Seinfeld's looking quite old.
1960s, the American morning was defined by milk and cereal.
Then again, I haven't
And
seen him on screen in a while.
The two giants of the cereal world were Kellogg's and Post.
Who the fuck are Post?
Major news from the breakfast world. The Post cereal company has reported
Either Post never made it, or it's just an American thing.
breakfast product.
Because Kellogg's we have internationally.
It's Post. They did it.
I'm about to finally crush that big red K that never stops glaring at me.
Wait. Wait a minute. Where's the rest of this cast list real quick? They didn't mention any of the rest of the cast in the description. Only Jerry Seinfeld. That's harsh.
I think Post did it.
They make Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Oh, yeah, that's not really a thing in Australia. You have to go to specialty American convenience stores, American-themed convenience stores to get them, like, where they have them imported.
There's always a surprise inside the box.
What if they use xanthan gum?
Xanthan.
Interesting that Melissa McCarthy and what's her name, the blonde are in this. The blonde that everyone hates. And James Marsden.
Hey, you know Isaiah Lamb from Quaker?
I love James Marsden.
You Kellogg's people.
We're about to have some very powerful people very upset.
You have to win. Are you making any
Wow,
progress?
there is so many actors in this.
But
What are you guys, 5 years old? Little John draws better than that. And I think there's something wrong with him.
Is that fucking Bill Burr?
Are you making any progress?
it's not to scale,
Is that
but
Bill Burr as
What are you
JFK?
guys, 5 years old?
Hold on. Yeah, that's JFK. People are just talking about Bill Burr as JFK in the comments. The biggest takeaway from this movie.
Little John draws better than that. And I think there's something wrong with him.
nobody said this was
I reckon
gonna be
this
easy.
got a lot of good actors in it because everyone wants to
Talking
work
about
with Jerry
happy
Seinfeld.
childhoods for millions of American kids. The important thing is the name.
Fruit Magoos. What?
No.
Heat 'em up and eat 'em ups.
No sale.
Oblong nibblers.
Is this a joke?
Pop-Tart. I want to hear them say Pop-Tart out loud.
Whoever gets to the shelves first is gonna win.
Hugh
this
Grant's
thing.
here as well, dressed as Tony the Tiger in the mascot outfit. That little girl just committed murder, by the way.
It's breakfast. Things happen.
Isn't this a cereal company? Why did my husband explode?
I don't think this is entirely based on a true story movie. It seems like they're being a little silly with this. But that's fine, I guess. Melissa McCarthy, Peter Dinklage, I did see him. Christian Slater again. That is now the third movie that that has Christian Slater in it that we've seen tonight. James Marsden. I'm not seeing the name of what's her name. Fred Armisen, Cedric the Entertainer, John Slattery, John Hamm. With Hugh Grant and Amy Schumer. I don't know why Hugh Grant and Amy Schumer get a with and at the end. Are they just not in the movie that much? I don't think I've ever seen a movie with Amy Schumer and Melissa McCarthy in it at the same time because they're both comedian actresses that are fairly like heavy set that people have a tendency to hate because they make a lot of really trashy slapstick comedy stuff where the entire joke is, haha, look, Melissa McCarthy's fat and she fell on her bum. Which is not fat shaming or making fun of her. That's literally like what she makes. Like that's the jokes that she makes about herself and then bases whole movies around, which is really sad. I'm a bit more mad at Melissa McCarthy for it than Amy Schumer because Amy Schumer can be used well in a film. Like, for example, Trainwreck was a good use of Amy Schumer. But Melissa McCarthy is actually a good actress. Every time I've seen Melissa McCarthy in a serious drama where she's actually playing a real character, she's very good. Like, nomination-worthy good. But she spends too much of her time making Melissa McCarthy comedies where the whole movie is just, I'm fat and I bump my head. And she does it on purpose. Like, that's, I guess, her sense of humor. But, man, the drama's like fucking, it's like Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler movies are terrible. But when Adam Sandler gets hired by someone else in a real movie, like a drama, playing a real character, he's actually good. I want better for Adam Sandler and Melissa McCarthy. But they need to be rescued from themselves, because all the worst things they do are their own things. Like, other people need to tell them what to do. It seems like fucked up to say that, but they excel when they're being told what to do. Actual acting, man. Okay, I think I stalled enough. Patrick Warburton? I didn't see his name. Where? I'm not seeing his name. Where did you get Patrick Warburton from? I feel like if he's in the movie, his name would definitely be on this list. Oh, it's an IMDb. Maybe it's like a cameo. Like it's a one-off joke appearance. Every other name on this screen here is probably people playing actual characters. He'll make an appearance kind of in a similar way that Ryan Reynolds did in Ted. Like just a one-off joke kind of thing. All right, yep. We stalled enough with every other trailer I had. It's time for Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know why I felt the need to wait till last for this, but it's the only really big thing that's come out that I need to catch up on watching. So I thought I'll leave this for the last. I've been kind of like shitting my britches a little bit all night though, because I've been keen to watch it. And I'm crossing my fingers that they don't fuck it up, because that'll make me really sad. Knew I wanted to be here. Oh yeah, didn't you post about it being out at one point in Discord, just briefly? I think that was you that did that. Yeah, it was you. On the 22nd. That was 7 days ago. That was literally a week ago you posted that. Cool. Alright. Here we go. Fingers crossed.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere.
This is like the bar scene from the first X-Men.
One more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Alright.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy.
Lady. There is a Lady Deadpool.
Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Yeah, he had that. He had Whiskey Dick of the Claws a lot in Logan.
Fucking forehead. I suggest you reconsider.
Wolverine seemed amused by that.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
This song sounds familiar.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to
Are they about to
shit?
drop Madonna on us?
Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Oh, really? So he's a Wolverine that fucked up in his universe.
Haunting you, or
And got the other X-Men killed.
Third act flashback.
Go fuck yourself.
From a world that also had the yellow spandex.
I don't know anything about saving worlds.
The golden guns.
But you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
You were an X-Man.
I want to see more of his universe. I want to see what all the other X-Men look like in the yellow outfit.
I am soaking wet right now.
Same. It's a really good claw shot. I was right about the song. I saw that coming a mile away. I have a feeling Ryan Reynolds chose that one.
This is what I'm talking about.
Is that Ant-Man's head?
Big slow motion
Dogpool?
action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
That's why people keep posting LFG hashtags. Let's fucking go. Thought it was looking for group.
Want to do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching?
Wait,
band?
blood and gore
Even snowball?
and mentioning pegging is okay, but no cocaine?
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes.
Forest bump. White Guild interrupted. I haven't heard half of those. That was groovy. Okay, that's got me feeling a little optimistic. I like that. You want to build a snowman? I can't. Feige's on. Do you think we'll see? I don't think we're ever going to see Feige actually in, like, you know how they made him a robot in She-Hulk? I feel like they'll always avoid actually showing Feige, but they'll mention him and they'll do little cheats like the robot thing. It'd be cool if Deadpool actually found and interacted with the same Feige bot from She-Hulk, but maybe like cut it down from the ceiling and destroyed it. And then just we're done with that joke, basically, at that point. We're gonna have to scrub, aren't we? It's time to scrub. These trailers always reveal a lot by doing some scrubbing. Let's see.
My bar. Just give me one more drink and then.
Hi, Peanut.
Hi, Peanut.
Yeah. Your friend has a theory that it actually means looking for group. Oh, as if they're recruiting actually more characters, not just Wolverine and Deadpool. Like almost like a like an X-Force. Because Deadpool and Wolverine have both been on X-Force in the comics, as well as like Psylocke and Archangel. And that Tomahawk Indian guy, forget his name. I believe Wolverine was actually the leader of X-Force for quite a few of its runs.
Lady, I'm not interested.
Lady. Whiskey Dick of the Claws. Hilarious. Wolverine's over 40. Hilarious. Oh, I didn't actually see the writing on the gun. Smile and wait for the flash. Breathe through your fucking forehead. Hilarious. He smiles because fuck you. Ooh, what else is here? There's that 20th Century Fox logo. The rest, I think, is just generic debris. Nothing's really standing out, except for maybe the Space Needle? Tipped upside down? This might be a piece of the Hollywood sign. There's the suit. Gorgeous. Kimiko. Hi, Wade. I love that he's still here. And that they actually saved his life. When is she going to turn? In the comics, she turns into Copycat. And she has blue skin. And like white hair. And she basically has like the same powers as Mystique. She can like turn into other people. And then she becomes kind of a crazy psycho ex who's always fucking with Wade. Like she turns into other people to mess with him and it turns out to be her. In a really fucked up stalkery kind of way. Like she turned into Banshee at one point, who Deadpool was like in love with and had a short fling with. And then he made love to Banshee on a baseball diamond. And after they were done, she turned back into Copycat and tormented him. Or was that Typhoid Mary that did that with a holographic belt? I might be mixing up my storylines. But yeah, I think at one point, he's on a date with someone and Copycat basically uppercuts her or something like that. But in the form of Wade. So that from the girl's point of view, which was another female X-Men character, it was Deadpool that assaulted her, but it was actually Copycat pretending to be him. So she did fucked up stuff like that to him in the comics. I don't remember why they separated or broke up. Or what even made her turn, like what activated her X gene. Reynolds and the director have said this isn't technically Deadpool 3. That's fair. Either they can do it whichever way they want. I'm cool with whatever they want to do. I want them to do Deadpool the musical. there is a comic book that I have in my collection called Deadpool the Musical, where it'll tell you what the song is in the little subtitle down the bottom, and then you have to read the lyric dialogue that Deadpool is singing in the tune of that song. One of the songs is ODP, the hip hop song. There's another punk one by like might be by forget the name of the band now. But I would love them to do a Deadpool the Musical film. In fact, I can think of a way that I would write and direct that myself if I could. I know exactly how I'd do it. Dazzler would be in it for sure. The first teaser had Wolverine's claws as a 3. I do remember that. But whatever, they probably changed their mind. These comic book movies change all the time. Maybe we'll see it here in Deadpool 3. I hope so. I feel like Vanessa has nowhere to go as a character unless they complete her arc into Copycat. Because right now she's basically just like the she's just the girlfriend in danger trope in a lot of action or superhero movie stuff. Like she has no reason to exist except to be the loved one that adds stakes to the film, to be in danger. And that sucks for her. Like we've done that already in the first movie. So it's like, you know, turn her into Copycat, let her get into the action a little bit, even if it is her becoming a villain against Wade or something edgy like that. Okay, he fucked up his old world. I'm guessing these are like gravestones. This seems like a dream sequence. Like he's having some kind of like psychotic dream sequence episode remembering the dead X-Men. Oop, there's the TVA. Who's back there? Why does that chick back there look a little bit like Negasonic Teenage Warhead? It's probably just the haircut.
Let down
his whole world. This is where Deadpool gets stabbed in the dick. That's unfortunate. I felt that. And then he gets blasted in the ribs. Probably hurts. I don't think the headbutt to the nose would have hurt quite as much as the bullets to the ribs. Looking nice and cancery. Gross. Come on, where's the good stuff? Ooh, what do we got here? Copperhead. There's a Marvel character called Copperhead. That was probably before Disney came into the picture. I think it was her. Hang on a sec. I need to confirm this. I'm pretty sure Copperhead is a character. Copperhead, Marvel. Yes. This is Copperhead. The dude with the cobra snake hat. Kind of a stupid character, very old school. That you'd see in like 1960s Spider-Man comics or something. So maybe it's not the kind of character they want to use in any of these movies or TV shows, but having him as a reference is kind of funny. I've got Marvel comics that I'm pretty sure I've seen Copperhead in. Yeah, cool. Madonna. There's so much background here. Who's in that picture? Oh, it's just the fam. Wait, what was that? Liefeld's just feet. Hilarious. Hey, thanks, Starkey. Do you think Liefeld knows that this reference is in the movie? Or do you think it's the kind of thing they just do and then wait to see if he notices? Because I don't think they need his permission to do that. Eastside Pharmacy Medical Center. I don't think that's a reference. Flowers and Gifts. Little Saga. Little Saga? Oh, Little Sage. Never mind. You gotta have those deep cuts references. The Liefeld feet thing. For the real hardcore comic fans. I wonder what the deal with the golden guns is. I'm curious to see how, where that's going to come from in this story. If he gets them off somebody. A character that's more known for using golden weaponry, maybe. He says, I'm so wet right now. We all are. Amazing claw shot. Obvious CG blood, but cool gore. We like that. R-rated. That's Cassandra Nova, yeah? People talked about that in the teaser. Professor X's evil sister that used to do naughty shit in the cartoon in the comics. I don't actually remember reading any runs that had her in it though, so I'm not really sure what her deal is. I know she can do Professor X shit, but I don't know what she's after, like why she's bad. Clang, clang, clang. Yeah, okay. There's nothing like Wolverine and Deadpool fighting in a shitty car with no room to fight. Cassandra Novak likes tea. Depending on the story, she's either a clone or his twin. Doesn't he have a twin brother as well? And that's how they get around the him dying thing. He moved his consciousness into like the vegetative state of his comatose twin brother. And then came back to life in his brain or something crazy like that. And they almost did that in the live action films because he dies in X3. And then in the post-credit scene, they show the twin brother like in a coma in the bed with Moira overlooking him. And it's like, oh my God, they're doing it for real. And then they never actually did. There's that crazy smoke monster from the End of Time in Loki. That's cool. Someone has a base in the corpse of Ant-Man. That's not just the head. I think that's like all of his body back there too. And his skull is still inside it. That's not just the suit. His fucking head is still in there. That's fucking, it's disgusting. Wait, that's Lady Deathstrike. Hang on, there's a lot of characters here. But I don't recognize too many. 1, 2, 3, 4. I recognize 4 characters. This is some kind of villain base. The red guy with the tail is Azrael, which is the dad of Nightcrawler, I think. Lady Deathstrike's there with her adamantium claws. I guess she's from a universe, probably the same universe as this Wolverine that fucked up and got everyone killed, where he never actually kills Lady Deathstrike. Because didn't in X2, didn't she get filled with adamantium, like her body, and then she sunk to the bottom of that water tank? So that's like dead. You don't come back from that. So there's those two. I think that's Toad to the left of Lady Deathstrike, the one that's hunched over. That's a very Toad posture, and he's got the goggles as well. And back right, sitting on top of the car, is Pyro, who we saw already in the teaser. So Pyro, Azrael, Lady Deathstrike, and Toad are the only ones I recognize. I don't know anyone else. The dude with the red stripy shirt looks like the guy from Punisher. But just less massive and less crew cut blonde. Who's the girl with the high ponytail? Oh, you mean the one left of Toad? I don't know. I don't recognize her either. She looks a lot like Valkyrie, but obviously it's not her. I think it's just the fact that she's the same skin color and her hair is similar. Real Jubilee and real Psylocke make it happen. Yeah, I'm not on a. What was the name of Olivia? What was the name of Psylocke's actress? The chick that used to be a gaming journalist. Fuck. Munn, yeah. I'm not an Olivia Munn hater, but there's something about her Psylocke that always gave me cosplay vibes. It didn't feel real. Like how you're saying you want to see real Psylocke. Like, I feel like the way that movie was depicting Psylocke, the costume design, everything about her, it felt like cosplay Psylocke and not a real character. She's a fake nerd. Oh, really? I don't know enough about her to be able to make a call like that. I've always been fine with Olivia Munn. I don't really love or hate her. She's okay. I've seen her in some stuff where she's a pretty bad actress, and I've seen her in some stuff where she's fine. So she's kind of like 50-50 in terms of her work. Anything else from that, I'm not really, I don't really care. Whatever. But that just definitely wasn't a good enough Psylocke. In fact, Psylocke should have been, like a lot of her depictions in the comics, she should have been like a half Asian chick, at least. I've seen some really hot depictions of Psylocke from the comics. And Olivia Munn's an attractive woman, but not in the Psylocke way. She gives you high school bitch head cheerleader vibes? Oh, really? I've never got that vibe, but I don't, like I said, I've never seen enough of her to get that vibe or not get that vibe. I would like to know who the chick who looks like Valkyrie is. Also, the person to the far left, closest to the camera, has a lot of back. Like, there's something going on to that cloak, like they're a hunchback or something. That must be a character as well. All these characters are probably named characters. We just don't know enough of them. Like, what is this about? Generic henchman in a roadster. Logan being an alcoholic. There's Dogpool. Looking more decrepit than Dogpool even looked in the comics somehow.
Slow motion action sequence.
Also, Wolverine pulling the appropriate face at the Dogpool action we just saw. Wait. Where the hell's Dogpool gone? I've lost him. Look at Hugh Jackman's face in the background. That'll be most people watching this right now. What is this about? What is this Mad Max shit? They've got 4 motorcycles pulling what looks like a lunar rover, like a Mars rover. I think that's just another generic henchman though, no one special. That's the fight in the car. They seem to get into really brutal fights with each other in random locations for some reason. Just a Mad Max reference. Yeah, that's fair. I think those are the hands of the giant dead Ant-Man body. And someone's like exploding through it. They drive that car. There's going to be a lot of road tripping in this, I think, across the wasteland. Logan and Deadpool. Logan being ineffective against Nova. What the hell's he supposed to do, I guess? Let's fucking go. Hey, there's Wolverine in the background. I didn't even notice that the first time. Who's he even talking to? He's talking to someone behind the camera, but it's not Logan. He says it to somebody in a totally different scene. I think they're jumping out of the eye socket of Ant-Man in this shot. That looks like the eye socket of a giant skull. And there's a piece on the far right, there's a piece of the helmet. Oh, Cassandra Nova's there. Right next to Logan. So are they escaping from her, from the head? Or did they make a deal with her and they're going through a portal that she made? And the Loki monster is back there as well. Another prediction. You think it's a Wong portal? Yeah, either Wong or Doctor Strange is helping at this point and they're escaping from Nova, or they're in cahoots at Nova at this point in the movie and she made the portal so they can go somewhere and do something for her, and then she's going to betray them. It's either one of those two, probably. Here's a prediction. I think this portal is bright white just for the trailer. I think in the final film, we're probably actually going to see what's on the other side of this portal. Like, they've just taken out the visual effects so that they don't give away the location of where they're headed, just for trailer purposes. Which means it must be somewhere recognizable that'll give away too much plot. For example, like if they're being deposited into the endgame battle, for example, where all these other portals were going during that scene. If you showed the endgame battle on the other side of this portal in this shot, it would give away way too much. Like, you'd want to hide that fact. So that would be a reason to take that visual effect out. Or anything really. Like, if you saw New York through that portal with a bunch of those flying giant metal creatures, then it's very obvious they're going back to the first Avengers movie again for some reason. So that would be a huge giveaway. You wouldn't be able to show it. It would have to be something that would be instantly recognizable in a circle. Like, the second fans see it, they would know too much. So it has to be something interesting, like an Endgame. Just a theory. Good song choice. And then the cocaine conversation. There's actually less Easter eggs when you scrub through it than I kind of expected to find, but I would be curious to know more about the villains that are standing in front of the head in that one shot. Like who the ponytail chick is, for example, like you asked. Looking for group. LFG. I'm still also of the theory that Lady Deadpool's probably going to make an appearance. Simply because of that one shot in the teaser where it shows a close-up of Deadpool's hands firing 2 Uzis. And the gloves. You missed the Frozen reference? No, I didn't. The You Want to Build a Snowman cocaine thing. We talked about that before. We even mentioned it in the chat. And we laughed about it. Do you remember that one shot from the teaser on the hands firing the Uzis? Where it's clearly Deadpool firing the Uzis because it's the black gloves with the red. But it's a different style of gloves and sleeve to what he's got in the rest of the trailer. Which means it's probably a different type of Deadpool that's firing the guns. And Lady Deadpool is known to use double Uzis as like a bit of a thing. Like Deadpool's usually using handguns, and Lady Deadpool tends to stick to dual Uzis. So I have a feeling there's a scene where she's going to make an appearance, and the fact that that Dogpool is there gives extra credence to that. Because if Dogpool's there, then why isn't Kidpool and Lady Deadpool? It wouldn't make sense. Or even Headpool, which could be a shout out to Wolverine Origins. It could be the same head from that. Could become Headpool. Although Headpool in the comics is actually a zombified Wade that gets his head chopped off to prevent the zombie virus from reaching his brain. Because Headpool is from the Marvel Zombies universe. And that's how he avoided zombification. And I think I remember there was casting rumors about who was going to play Kidpool as well. Like the kid from that Netflix Ryan Reynolds movie, the sci-fi one, that plays his younger self, that he had really good chemistry with, was rumored to be playing Kidpool in this. And then at some point on Twitter it got debunked. Or the kid himself said that it's not true. But that doesn't mean it's not true. We know what comic book movies are like. They could all be lying. They do that a lot. They're a bunch of fibbers. They're a bunch of Fibonacci's. Anyway. Bloop. That was fun. I think it was probably a good idea to leave that to last because I got to pick at it for a little longer than usual. I might go up on the internet later and see if anyone's figured out anything more about the villains that are in that shot. Because I can only really detect 4, with a potential 5th if that's the same bad guy from The Punisher, the guy with the stripy shirt. So 4 or 5, but there's a bunch others that might actually be named characters, potentially. All right, I'm gonna head off. That was enough for one night. Good to see you. And also good night to anyone else who's left lurking in the shadows. Whoever may be back there, shadow realming it. I'll be back next week at some point. I'll go figure out a schedule. All right, see ya.